We're going live with breaking news. Dom, you just T-Brad. You just mentioned something right now. What did we just mention?
No.
What did we just mention?
That you bought a new car, or the fact that the Wentz trade has just gone through. I mean, you take your pick. Which one do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the car, not the car. I want to talk about the Wentz trade. We're here to talk football. We're here to talk sports. We're not here to talk about how wonderful I am. We'll do that later. But let's break down the news, Mr. Googler.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, Mr. Injury Prone, Mr. Crutches is off to the Commanders.
He did play 75% of the snaps last year.
Yeah, so he is off there for a third, which may turn into a second, and they're swapping second round picks as well.
Oh, they're swapping seconds. I didn't know they were swapping seconds. Oh, my God. Dom, talk a second. I got to get something. Mute yourselves.
Oh, dear me.
Drop my thing. Drop my thing.
You go. But
Carson
Wentz goes to Washington. I'm sure Washington fans are looking forward to seeing him in 3 games before he stubs his toe and is out for the season.
He played in 75% of the snaps, Mr. Sassy. 75% of the snaps he played last year, and it was not completely his fault of the meltdown in Jacksonville.
No, especially as he was in Indiana.
Yeah. I thought it was in Jacksonville.
No, I believe that was Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville. He was
that Wentz had the meltdown.
Oh, you mean the game?
The playoff game.
Sorry, the game. Yeah, sorry. No, I mean, look, Carson Wentz, at the end of the day, he's he's had a good career. He is injury prone, but as you say,
just for getting the Jacksonville shit wrong. Come correct, Dom. You got the Jacksonville shit wrong. You deserve that. You deserve being banned just for that.
I thought you were saying he was the quarterback for Jacksonville. That's why.
No, I said he wasn't his fault that they lost in Jacksonville.
No, but he was also to lose in Jacksonville is not ideal when you're the Colts and you're going to the playoffs. But yeah, look, I think it didn't work in Indiana at the Colts, but I still think there's a decent enough quarterback in there, and it's certainly an upgrade for Washington.
This actually is a good point by Zach Attack. This Wentz trade is a shock, but he does fit the system in Washington. He really does.
I don't necessarily think it's a shock, but I do think he fits the system.
He does fit the system in Washington. And I've said this before. Did a video yesterday. If Russell Wilson is worth all those picks and those players, and Daniel Jones is worth $1.98.
Oh, you take Wentz over Jones.
So if
both are injury prone.
If Carson Wentz is worth Carson Wentz gets a 22 third rounder, a 23 second rounder. That can become, a third rounder can become a second rounder. Wentz plays 70% of the plays. 22 second round pick Commanders get quarterback Wentz and a second round pick. So if that's what Wentz got, Daniel Jones is now worth $3.48.
Here's a question for you. If my transfer fee were 2 Mars bars and a pint of beer, does Daniel Jones go for more or less than that?
First of all, I want a lager.
I didn't say what kind of beer. You can have a lager. I mean, if you want to drink that beer, then that's fine. I drink a different kind of beer, but
USO 8684 is in the building. What's up, gentlemen? Great to see the handsome faces. You think he's talking about me, of course.
He's definitely talking about you, not me. I look like the wild man of Borneo.
Remember to hit that like button. Hit that like button. Smash the like button. Do what you got to do to the like button. Kill the like button. Please.
But here's the thing on Wentz, right? I'm taking the mix slightly, but he probably had.
You're taking the mick?
Oh yeah, I forget that's offensive to you.
That's an offensive to Irish people.
It's really not. But
it is if you're Irish.
Anyway, okay, I am. I am taking the Michael. But Wentz had arguably his worst season, right? Last season, arguably 62% completion rate, still 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions and over 3,500 yards.
I thought he completed almost 70% of it. Oh no,
that's his. Yeah, it's 62 was last year. Yeah, but that was regarded as one of, if not his worst season in the league, and that's still not horrific.
No.
And I do want a Guinness.
Why are the Giants not making any moves? Well, because we're still over the salary cap. This is the thing that people don't understand. You can't be over the salary cap by 4 p.m. March 16th. You have to be under the cap. After that, the rule of 51 kicks in, and only the top 51 contracts count on your roster. So you can then be over the cap. But at that point in time, you need to be under the cap when camp breaks and the rule of 51 dissipates and you have the rule of 53. Or you just go to your 53-man roster. So the Giants will make some moves, but first they can't sign Wagner because they have no cap. You have to sign him.
They can't sign me and you.
Mm-mm. Well, they signed the kid out of Atlanta. Matt Gonzo. I don't know what his name is. Backup offensive tackle. He was on the PUP list all last year with an injury. They put a second-round tender on him 2 years ago. Undrafted free agent. We only have 5 linemen on the team right now. So, I mean, it's, I haven't gone on Twitter to see how the Gongo or whatever the hell his name is going to be the greatest offensive tackle the Giants have had since whomever.
Well, he could be the second greatest in the last however long it's been.
Sure. That ain't saying much, though.
Exactly. I do want a Guinness. Guinness is a lovely, lovely drop.
And Dom, evidently Zach is a Mick too, because we're offended.
Of course you are.
We are offended. Tyrone's in the house. What's up, Tyrone? So many. I'm waiting for James to come in here. So cut people. Then those are the moves. We're going to cut some people. We got to cut some people. We're going to trade some people. I'm getting a little worried. I'm getting a little worried. It's already the 9th. Got 7 days to figure this blank out because I don't need to be hindered. We're broke. That's why we make any moves. That's why we can't make any moves. We're broke. USO says the best. We got no money. Dom and I have more money probably between ourselves right now in our pockets than the Giants have. Hold on.
The only good news is we got more money than the Saints.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I have in my pockets right now. So let me see if we have more money than the Giants do. I have $1, a bottle cap, a bottle of Aquaford, another bottle cap, and a wrapper. Let's go sign Bobby Wagner.
And you still have more money than the Giants.
I still do, actually. People think the salary cap does it because of the Packers are doing with Aaron Rodgers and Adams. The salary cap does exist. We've said it before, Don, a million times. The chickens come home to roost. You reach a certain point where I cannot pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today because Tuesday actually shows up.
Yeah, and the Eagles, we took the mick out of the Eagles for doing this for years, and it finally caught up with them, and it's now catching up with us incredibly quickly.
Yeah.
And Gettleman took us full circle. In the early years of Gettleman, I gave him a little bit of flex because he inherited a terrible situation after we threw everything at one season, and that takes time to sort out. Unfortunately, he repeated the mistake, and we're back where we started. And I think we now have to give Rashane the same sort of time because he's got to sort out an absolute mess, and he's got 2 choices. He gets us back under the cap this year and sacrifices quality, or he puts money down the road. They're his choices, and neither are palatable.
Watch this.
Draft, baby. Yeah.
It's on button 49, so I can just reach it right away.
I want to be on button 9 because that is the number I was wearing the day I scored my one and only goal in adult football.
No, but
absolutely.
But
absolutely stone. I was so drunk that day.
Wait a minute, button 9 is not assigned. I didn't assign anything to button 9. I did have something assigned to button 9.
Maybe button 9 could be like the right tackle for the New York Giants. You can just swing it in and out. Never gets anywhere near anything.
I don't know how button 9 got unassigned. Button 9 is.
What's your assignment? Kill the quarterback. Hit the tight end so hard his girlfriend dies. Kill everybody.
That's button 9. That's Bobby Wagner in the wink attack room. Rule of 51. Area 51, put on the tin hats. We already got the tin hats on. T. Brad says Colts can trade for Daniel Jones. What about that, Dahmer? What about it? What about getting rid of Danny Fumbles? What about, you see the market value right now is astronomically crazy. Even for a guy.
It's Daniel Jones at the 5. It's Daniel Jones at
that can't run
never
straight
mind.
without falling down. Now, my thing is this. I said this in the video today. Not once did the Giant organization have they come out and said, if the season was to start today, Daniel Jones could be our starting quarterback or would be our starting quarterback. Not once have they ever said that. Is there still something wrong with the neck injury?
It's always been my view on it, but I think really what they're saying is sort of similar to what Pete Carroll said about Russell Wilson. He said he never said they wouldn't trade him. He just said it's not their intention to. And the Giants are doing something similar with Daniel Jones here, not in terms of trade talk, but in terms of starting. You know, these guys have no ties to him. He doesn't have a stellar record. You know, even if you buy, and I've some sympathy for it, but not entirely. That we've done our best to screw the kid up. You know, his record isn't great. But I think the biggest concern, and I've said it repeatedly, is that neck injury. I do not think that neck injury is. I do think, sorry, it is a serious neck injury. The fact he's not expected back till August, it's a risk. How is he going to learn the playbook? He can learn it in terms of reading it, but not in terms of practicing it.
Right. Reps
until like the week before the season. You know. And he's going into his he's going into his third system in the NFL. So I think there are I think there are issues there, and I think if we can get any value for Daniel Jones, I think the Giants will certainly be open to business to trading him.
We know what
the issue is. I'm not sure there is going to be anyone because I think he's injured.
We all know what we're doing. Mr. Alvarez says it best.
Malik Willis. Bringing the boom.
We're going to be bringing the boom to New York, to MetLife. We all know Malik is coming. We all know he's in love with the Dable's in love with him. We all know it. He scouted him twice. He scouted an Ole Miss. He scouted it when he was during the Syracuse game. Stood behind him in the end zone during the Senior Bowl for an extended period of time. He fits the Josh Allen mold. I'm getting less. The team that I'm now concerned about is Denver at 9. And I'm not concerned that they're sitting at 9. I am concerned they have now acquired draft assets, which if they want to move up and leapfrog the Giants at 5, they can now go to some team and say, hey, I'm going to give you this and get the second pick.
Do you mean Seattle, who have taken Denver's pick?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yes.
You weren't listening. You weren't paying attention. You know what button I also have really close by?
The one good button.
Get that button now. Really?
I was just checking. That's what you meant. Sorry.
Get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Be careful. I have all the buttons in front of me now. And it only took me, I got this soundboard, I don't know, 2.5 months ago. But it only took me 2.5 months. I'm still working on it. It's a working.
In fairness, that's 3 months quicker than expected.
That's true. Unfortunately, Herschel says, unfortunately, Daniel Jones has limited trade value because of the injury. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the injury. Let's see here.
Spot on.
Let's go with J8 here. Does getting Mitchie basically end any chance of drafting Malik Willis, considering there was any chance to begin with? No, I think actually I think actually going out and getting Mitchie the kid makes the idea of Malik Willis more palatable. It then turns around and says, you know what? You get Mitchie the kid, you get rid of Daniel Jones, and you draft a franchise quarterback.
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
We jump on the Express because you now have a stopgap guy who's been in the Dable system for a year now. Who can be you have the mentor in Davis Webb who can sit with Malik on the sideline in the quarterback room. It's the perfect opportunity to bring in it really is. It is the perfect opportunity to bring in a rookie quarterback.
So from my point of view, I've always said that if you love a quarterback, you take them, right? But I'm not that worried if we don't draft one this year because I don't think we're ready to win. I actually do agree with you here. I think this increases my view on whether I would draft Malik Willis or not, because I think Trubisky can come in here. He can be a top 20 quarterback. People may laugh, but I think he can be a top 20 quarterback you can you either take him on a 1 year deal or you take him on a 2-3 year deal and potentially look to trade him. All the things you just said are absolutely right about Trubisky in terms of the Dable system, etc., etc. And this is a guy you can really learn from. If you draft Malik Willis now, and you say Daniel Jones is our starter for the year, he's learning from Daniel Jones. I'm not sure that's such a great person to be learning from.
If you're learning from Daniel Jones, if you're learning from Daniel Jones,
great. That's just fucking great, man. Now what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Exactly.
Pretty shit now, man.
That's what happens if you're learning from Daniel Jones.
Exactly right. So I think it does make it more palatable to do that, because you do have a quarterback there that you can trust for at least a year. And Mitch Trubisky, people mock him. He's gone twice to the playoffs with Chicago and has a winning record.
But he also had a fantastic defense.
He did have a fantastic.
And he had a guy named Khalil Mack.
He did, but he still has a winning record. We'd kind of kill for a quarterback that could do that right now.
What do you think? Zach says, what do you think of trading DJ to Seattle? I mentioned trading DJ to Seattle. I mentioned sending him off to the other coast. I think we're coming to a point, and I think quickly, that it just may be like Evan Ingram. It may just be a change of scenery. It may be just a time to move forward and move around and kind of go from there.
Who do you think would take him? Because Seattle presumably will either now draft someone, as you say, or will look to go end of free
Seattle
agency.
needs a quarterback. You know who needs a quarterback?
Well, a few teams do. Carolina.
Yeah, but know who needs a quarterback right now? The Colts.
Do you think he's going there?
I don't know, but the Colts don't have a quarterback. They just trade after they still owe the Eagles a number 1 for Wentz.
They do.
You don't have a quarterback. Why not even injured? Why not take a flyer on Daniel Jones?
Because you could get Marcus Mariota, or you could go for Jameis Winston.
With what salary cap?
Well, that is the issue there. But maybe Jameis coming off the injury takes a team-friendly deal for the year.
Here's a good, what are your thoughts on Trayvon Walker? Trayvon Walker is a guy moving up the charts. He's a guy moving up the because of the combine. I don't have a problem with Trayvon Walker. I'm trying to see where I have him on my list. I didn't move him much after his combine performance. The same with Jordan Davis. I already had Jordan Davis at 14 on my list. I mean, I think Trayvon, I'm not taking Trayvon with 7. I still have him 32nd on our list. I'm like I said, I'm not going to get over enamored with oh dear Lord. I'm not going to get over enamored with a quarterback. I mean, not a quarterback, with a defensive end who just had a good combine. Same with Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis can run the 40 and 4, 5, 7, whatever it was.
I think he can run it faster than the Flash.
And he's got like a insane vertical leap, which are all good attributes to have for a guy that plays in 2 yards of space in the interior line. Who is he going to be leapfrogging, Dom, while playing nose tackle? And people are like, well, he could jump up and bat down passes. Okay. And this is the stupidity. I'm going to rant for a freaking second. This is the stupidity I had to deal with on Twitter today. He can jump up in the middle and start blocking passes. Okay, evidently you've never watched a nose tackle or a center line defensive lineman who's usually engaged by the center or the tackle. How many times have you seen these big guys freed up enough playing in a 2-yard space to jump up and block down passes? What do they do? I am more interested. What is his arms? How long are they? Because what they do is they put their arms up. They don't jump. This isn't the NBA. They're not taking off from the side, from the free throw line. They're not Jordan in it. They're not. And he can run a 4.5. Great. Where's he running to? He's playing in the center of the freaking line.
I don't need my defensive tackle to run faster than bloody.
I don't need him to run faster than my running back because he's playing in 2 yards of space.
Great. If that's what my corner's doing, or my prospective corner's doing, I'm all ears. But the thing with the combine, right? The thing with the combine, it shouldn't be used to jump from like 30 to 10. It should be used to confirm what you know about the player. Has your scout, does this confirm what you've been scouting from their college film and what have you? And then you go on from the combine to their personal workouts and go, am I going to go and see that person's personal workout? Yes, no. That for me is what the combine should be doing. You shouldn't be leaping 20 places up a board just on your combine. I could go and have a great day on the field. Doesn't make me a great player.
Damon, Mr. Jackson says, send him to Canada. We're going to send him to the CFL.
Where do you think might take DJ? Because I think a team that wants a decent backup that thinks they're going on a Super Bowl run might be a better destination for him rather than someone looking for a starter.
Because you can't even use him as a backup because he's not proven anything. Stucky Ducky says, I wouldn't be mad.
Then you're not taking him as a starter then.
Some team will be stupid enough to do that. But on a team
we've already got him.
With a team that is on a contender, Green Bay is not going to take him. You're not going to send him to Cincinnati. You're not going to go to the Rams. You're not going to waste that money.
Maybe not.
Okay, because you have to remember this, Dom. More than likely, if you are going to trade for Daniel Jones, unless you're picking up the 5th-year option, it's a 1-year rental.
Yeah, you're not giving up. So
you need someone that wants him to be a starting quarterback, so they can pick up that 5th-year option and give him more value.
Possibly. I think you're probably right about the a contender looking for a decent backup, but I think he's a backup quarterback. I really do.
I don't think he's a quarterback, but that's okay. I don't think he's a quarterback at all. What do we think about Kenyon Green, Texas A&M tackle guard? I see him falling. To me, he's a 2nd-round guy. He has the versatility to play. I think he's going to be more suited for going in the interior line. I'm not going to put him out on tackle. I'm not sure why he's falling. I've always had him ranked in the 2nd round, so I'm not really sure if he's, in my opinion, if he's fallen. But I mean, I think it's a guy that it's another guy to me that the Giants should probably take a look at.
Yeah, I wouldn't be complaining if we. I look. I'm going to park the cards on the table unless one of the 2 top tackles falls to you. Fall to 5, but you know what I mean. Unless one of the 2 top tackles is there, then I'm definitely not taking an offensive lineman. I'm still not guaranteeing I'm taking that with 5, like even in that scenario. But for me, I think Green in the 2nd round, if that was our pick, I certainly wouldn't be terribly upset.
This is true. They jump all the time in Madden.
I saw that.
They jump all the time. I want to see him. This is what I want. If I'm drafting him, and I still have, and I'm not picking on the kid because I still got him ranked 14th on my board, and I haven't moved him off. I haven't changed because of combat. So Jordan Davis, this is what I want him to do. I want him to hurdle the center, run really fast, jump up in the air, grab the ball as a quarterback throwing, and run it in for a touchdown.
In fairness, on Madden the other day, my defensive tackle did do that, but it was Madden.
It was Madden. I mean, former 1st round of Peyton Lynch is in the USFL. Yes, he is in USFL. Let's send him to the USFL. Zach says, Dom, all these people are shooting draft boards are mock drafts. They have no more value than the mock trial in elementary primary school. I agree.
Yeah, I don't disagree either.
That's why I don't do a mock draft.
We also don't know what other teams are going to pick, right?
Right, exactly.
Even when you do the simulators or what have you, how often do you think, what the hell is that pick about? Or really, you're going to give me all that trade value to move from 6 to 5?
Yeah. This is a great point. Mr. Samuel says it's great. Taking Trubisky feels like we're dropping Jones and taking potential Willis in the draft. All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
The buttons are just in front of my hands. I could be I'm like a maestro now. And I love it because this is the best part. Hold on, wait a minute. Where do I want to do it? Yeah, okay, you ready? You gotta go.
Draft, baby. Draft, baby. Yeah.
I'm a mixologist now.
Wiki.
That's right. That's what I do. Mara, let's blow. Oh my God. Grant, I knew it's coming, man. Mara, let's blow MetLife after 25 years. I'm moving to this team back to New York. Damn it. like I've said plenty of times and places, New York State is a big state with lots of rooms to build our next stadium. We don't have money to sign a free agent. Do you think we have money to build a stadium? I am chipping in the dollar. In Aquaford. I got this at the skin doctor. I went to the skin doctor yesterday. Because I like to keep my youthful appearance. So I go to the skin doctor. And I got a lot of free time on my hands. Kareem says, what's going on, Tim and Dom? Not much. What's going on, Kareem?
Just hanging with you guys.
John wants to know, is DJ better than Trubisky?
Yes, at falling over. And I'm out.
Is he better than Trubisky? No. No. Is he better than Carson Wentz? No. Is he better than Justin Fields? I don't know yet. The jury's.
I'd rather have Fields right now.
I would rather have Fields right now than I would rather have Daniel Jones right now. But I think if they do this, if they pull the trigger on Trubisky, because then this is what doesn't make sense to me about Trubisky. You have Davis Webb. You signed Davis Webb. Davis Webb has been I think he's been there for 2 years. I think he was in Buffalo for 2 years. So he's been in all the quarterback rooms. He's been in all the meeting rooms. He's been on the practice squad. He practices with the team. You're on the practice squad. You still practice with the team. That's what people forget. You don't just stand there and like, oh, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just on the practice squad. No, you were still
stand there on the sideline.
That's what they call it, the practice squad, not the stand around squad. I'm so fired up because I see so much stupid stuff on Twitter today. It just aggravates the hell out of me today. But no. What happened to Carson Wentz? Why has he fallen off? Injuries, lack of consistency. And he may have played. Sometimes you have these, and every athlete will know, and maybe even Dom. Sometimes you reach a certain area in your career where you play above your expectations. You play above your talent level. Sometimes it's for a game, sometimes it's for a quarter, sometimes it's for a season. And I think in that Super Bowl run season, that MVP season before he got hurt, I think that's what he was doing. I think he was playing above his career level. Dom with the hard hitting.
Don't disagree at all. And the reason he's fallen off is because he falls off everything and breaks everything. But
that's true.
Yeah, he is injury prone, and that's a big issue with him. And things went really, really wrong in Philadelphia for him, and I think that sort of he gets a reputation for that. But he's now got a problem going to Washington, where he's essentially just been traded twice in 2 years.
Yeah, I found the rim shot for your funny joke. A Jobu to the Giants. I'd rather have Dean, to be honest. I'd rather have Devin Lloyd. I think some way, and I think some people will call me crazy, and because I have him ranked below Jobu, I would rather have Jordan Davis out of Georgia. 6'6", 300. You know, I mean, that's 6'6". Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have Jordan Davis. Well, he's an interior lineman. I know that, but you know.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, with so many holes, though, you got to look at it in a different way. And you're like, if you don't think that's the right player for your team, your system, then you go and look at a different position. To be honest with you,
send DJ to the moon. Who's building the rock? Is it Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, call him up. Call him and ask. If we trade Bradbury, we have to draft the sauce. Here's the only thing, T-Brad, about doing that. That's the only thing that bugs me about doing that. You're basically creating a hole in a position by trading Bradbury, then filling that hole by using a number one pick. That hole you did not have, let's say, a week ago, you've now created. And so now you're using valuable draft assets that we have looked at for other positions to replace a hole in a position you created. So I don't think they would. I don't think they would go with the sauce.
I think you look at filling it with players you've already got on your roster, see how you get on for a year. If it's not working, then you look to draft a corner next year. But I have concerns about our depth and starting players in far more positions than I do at cornerback, even without James Bradbury right now. And if you want to bring in a player, then bring in a veteran, who can be a second corner and promote Adoree Jackson to number one and see how he gets on. I don't necessarily think Jackson can play as a number one corner, but I think you give that a go. But I think you've got to play people like Robinson and what have you. Do I mean Robinson? My mind's gone blank on the.
Yes,
that we took in the third round last year. Give these guys a go. I'd love even give him a go on the outside.
I like it though. I like this because I've said this. Tibbs at 5, Lloyd at 7, Zion Johnson at 37. I've said that. I've already said to John, and I love it because I think the day after I did the video, they had a draft prognosticator. We had Tibbs at 5 and Lloyd at 7 after I said that. And I love it because people email me like, they're copying you. I don't know if they're copying me, but I thought that was kind of fun.
I think we mentioned it on last week's stream, actually.
We did mention on last week's stream that I think it was like ESPN too or something like that. Let's say at 5, Willis, Neal, Hamilton, and Hutchinson are all gone. Do you take Icky or Thibodeau? I'm taking Thibodeau. Thibodeau scares me because he's got a little clowny in him. And he scares me a little bit, but you need an edge. You need a presence. And it's a pretty good draft for offensive linemen. I can grab an offensive lineman later in the second round. And plus we have 2 third-round picks.
I think it's a close call, that one, because I think he potentially gives you bookend tackles there.
But where are you playing Icky?
You'd have to put him at right tackle, I think. But I think more the NFL going towards is that the left edge can be just as dangerous as coming off the right side. Obviously Miami more so. But I think I'm probably inclined to go with you on the edge there. But that's quite a close call. That's a real thought provoker, that one.
What's up, Skylar Shaw? Not much.
Our defensive tackle's ability to jump.
What is Dom looking at on your computer?
Me, I'm following the European football scores.
Okay, well, you want to try following the Online Big Blue show.
I am following it. That's how I know. You said Broncos.
You got to sit there and say, "What the hell are you doing?" I've heard
or read paying enough attention to realize that you didn't say Seattle at 9.
I've read or heard that Webb is more of a coach than a player. I've said this. I did a video about it, Ramon. He is. They told you in Buffalo. They talked about it in Buffalo before. It's not his talent they're enamored with. It is his work ethic, not only in the gym, but in the quarterback room, his film study. He's a perfect guy. And like I said, you take Trubisky, who knows the system. You draft Willis, you sit him for maybe 12 for 13 weeks, and you have Davis Webb mentoring him. And now I got people texting me.
Cooper Rush, we did it with him a few years ago when Jason Garrett came across.
Cooper Rush. You need to get the likes up, people.
Is the mod texting you?
The mod is literally texting me. You need to get, we only have 21 likes.
And one of them was me.
And one of them was Dom. Get the damn likes up. Like, subscribe. And I could do this now too. All right, everyone, this is Tone Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, or I'm not going to talk. Sorry. Whatever happened to the robot? The robot? He's right here. I have to get that sound effect. There you go. There's your robot. There's your robot. He's on the desk, along with 14,000 bottles of water. I drink a lot of water. I agree. All right. Well, John, I'm going to like your comment then. I agree. Even though he's fallen off, he's still better than DJ. I don't disagree on him either. Oh, Samuel's curious about something. I'm curious. Why no team has even talked about Minshew? Guy could be a decent. I like Gardner Minshew. First of all, I love it because, he's greatest nickname ever, the porn stash.
I was going to say, anyone who can attempt that look, I have, you've got to kind of respect, right?
But I don't think he's leaving Philly. Why? Philly's got Jalen Hurts. You don't know what Jalen's going to be, right? I mean,
And they're not trading him to. They're not trading him to us either.
No, hell no. John says Ajobu is raw, upside through the roof. Sounds like Matt from Connecticut. Sounds like Shane Lemieux. Sounds like a bunch of other people that I've heard.
Will Hernandez.
Sounds like Will Hernandez. Sounds like a lot of guys we draft. Sounds like Kadarius Toney. Sounds like, wait for it, Daniel Jones. Robinson looked good last year. I don't know why we're jumping on. I'm not getting in the corner. I like the two guys who drafted last year.
Yeah, I'm not either. At worst, I'm bringing in a veteran to sort of support them through with a bit of experience. At worst, I'm not through free agency if anyone wants to come, but that's it.
Jump up those likes. We jumped up the likes by 10. If I get 100 likes today, I may give away a Super Bowl ring. All of them went out the other day. All of them went in the mail. So hopefully the people that got them will come on and just tell you how wonderful they are, or just how wonderful them. How much draft capital would Dexter Lawrence bring in a trade? And if you traded Dexter, would they draft Jordan Davis to replace Dexter? I talked about this in a video the other day, Dom. Dexter Lawrence has got a $10.7 million option. The option numbers came out for the fifth-year options came out yesterday or 2 days ago. So he carries a 10.7, almost $11 million for Dexter Lawrence if we pick up that fifth-year option. And I think it's in the same boat with like Daniel Jones. Any team you trade for, it has to be probably willing to pick up that fifth-year option, or you're just picking them up as a one-year rental. So what kind of value or assets are you going to get?
Exactly right. Very little, and that is an expensive tackle, right? If you take Leo, right?
Mm-hmm.
We both agree we'd have given somewhere between 10 and 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Williams is probably a better player than Lawrence.
Yep.
And all right, but even if they're the same,
King of the almost sack.
You're giving up $10 million for a defensive tackle.
Almost $11 million.
Yeah, but it's league average, right? Maybe just above if you really want to be generous, but league average probably.
What about Cam Newton as a backup? No, I'm not doing Cam. I would have done Cam Newton as a backup last year. I'm not doing it this year. Different regime, different organization. The shame is in my mind, shocking. In my mind, he might have us on the right track. He might have us moving correctly. For the ship looks like it may be moving correctly, and I think that's a big thing to say. Like I said, I don't say that very often, because usually when we're talking about the giant ship, it's always being circled by sharks.
Inside the cage. Cage goes in the water. You go in the water. Sharks in the water. Our shark.
And it's a big shark, Quint. It's a big one. And that's all I'm going to say. Icky all day for the T, Brad. I don't know. I can't go with the guy, Dom. That's more. Hey, let's draft a guy that's got this huge upside. Hard hitting.
I thought you were going to move on, to be honest, because I'd said what I said earlier, but.
Yes, I know. Robinson in the slot. I like Robinson in the slot. I like it. In the wing system, I say Carter Coughlin could be a good edge because he can hold the line. Here's my only problem with Carter Coughlin. He only held the line really in one game, and that was in that aberration of a game in Seattle that they won with Colt McCoy. And he couldn't even get on the field last year. And then when he tried to get on the field, he tripped on the bench and sprained his ankle. That's a true story.
He's a spot guy, right? He comes in and spots.
I think he'd be a good spot guy. I do think he is.
He's a player I'd happily have on the roster, but not as a starter.
I think he's a depth guy. Good afternoon, Alex Sports. Good afternoon, fellas. Can you believe Wendy's is back in the NFC East? I'm kind of shocked that Wentz is back. I thought there would be no way in hell that they could move that contract.
Washington got desperate, right?
Desperate's not the word.
I mean, if the rumors are true, they called all 32 teams. I mean, you'd have to think they didn't call the Steelers. Hey, can we have Dwayne Haskins back? But
they did.
But yeah, they were definitely getting desperate.
Zach says the Super Bowl ring is wonderful. I know it is. Thank you, though, Zach. Zach was a winner of one of the Super Bowl rings. T-Brad, I think I got to send you a tracking number. I think I got to get on that. If we had a competent coaching staff that could develop some of these players, we'd actually be okay. And I hope that the coaching staff may be capable of developing players and not just find talent. The problem is I don't know. Here's the problem, Dom, especially with the last 3 years. I don't know if we were really finding talent. We were drafted, and I'm not trying to be facetious here, but you can't develop a player if the player doesn't have talent. You can only go so far.
I think the answer is we don't really know, do we? I think if you look at Ojulari, I think you've got some talent there, and I think he had a really good season. I think you look at McKinney. Essentially, last year for me was his season 1, because he obviously missed the majority of his actual rookie season. We've seen him develop quite nicely. So you could argue that's being there, but it's a small sample size. You can look at the likes of Tony, who people think has got a lot of talent and didn't see it. So there's such a mixed thing there. I think and therefore we don't really know what talent we had. What I would say is I've not seen really any player come into the Giants where I think this is a bang average or below average player, and we've seen them take a significant leap forward, not necessarily to be like an elite player, but to be better than we expected. And I think that would be the criticism you can lay at the former coaching staff, is you just didn't see someone come in and where we took all these developmental players that we can coach up, former first round picks, none of them really worked out, which would suggest we couldn't coach the players.
Draft, baby. Yeah.
Do you think Sexy Dexy will play better next year with all new coaching? I don't think Sexy Dexy fits the Wink system. I really don't. I don't think Sexy Dexy is that interior lineman, the nose tackle for the 3-4. I don't think he can man that. I think, it would have been perfect in a 3-4 system, in Wink's 3-4 system. It would be perfect.
Our old buddy that we lost last year,
Dalvin Tomlinson. Dalvin Tomlinson would literally be the perfect nose tackle.
I'd really like us to bring in Neil Farrell Jr. in the 3rd round as a nose tackle potentially. I really like the look of him in the 3rd round potentially. If he dropped to the 4th, even better. But because I do think we need a real solid nose tackle to come in.
We need a solid run style. You know what's funny? I was at the DMV today. Eli Manning's story at the DMV, and this guy, huge guy, sitting behind the counter, and he's wearing an Ole Miss lanyard, holding up his badge. And I talked to everybody, and so I said, "Hey, you an Ole Miss fan?" He goes, "Well, I went to Ole Miss." I said, "Wow." I said, "That's pretty cool." And he goes, "Yeah, and I played with Cooper Manning before he got hurt or had the spinal thing, and then retired basically from football during summer practices at Ole Miss." And so he actually knew the Mannings. And it was a funny story though, because he was telling me that the Mannings are, you always think when you see people like on TV and stuff, like you kind of think, well, maybe Peyton's a dick. Maybe Eli's really a jerk. Maybe it's all a facade. But he actually knew these guys. I mean, he's met the family for the 4 years that he was at Ole Miss. And he was like, no, he's like, they are as genuine people as they are, as you see on the cameras. And I thought that was a pretty cool story.
I'm pleased to see that. And that doesn't surprise me, though. You'd have thought at some point stories would have come out about them by now if they were dicks, right?
Vulgar language. Tom. Vulgarity. We don't have that on this show. You would call them penises.
Really?
Dexter Lawrence is a good player, but he's a support piece. Ever since Dalvin left, Dexter has regressed, not progressed. Exactly. T-Brad says, you set the tracking number. Thank you, T-Brad, because I'm old now and I don't remember shit half the time. I had to send out 5 rings because we gave away 5 rings. And the great thing is I use a company that has the rings, and they send them out for me, and they send me all the tracking numbers. But then I have to match the addresses with the tracking numbers and make sure everyone got the right addresses, right track. There's a lot that goes into running this freaking show.
It's a hard life.
It's a hard knock life for us. It's a hard knock life.
Sorry, I was just playing my little violin.
We get tricked. Set of kisses. We get kicked. It's a hard knock life. Got the folks to speak of, so It's a hard knock row. We ho. Cotton blankets. Dun dun stada wool. Empty bellies. Dun dun stada full. It's a hard knock life.
Sorry,
Don't you feel like the wind is always howling? Don't you seem like there is no ever light? Sorry. I saw Annie as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Meanwhile, I'm going to get out my little violin. Also,
I'm waiting for Dom to go get his violin. Did you get your violin?
it's so small because of the sympathy I have for you that you just can't see it.
I don't say things that you need to be sent just like Joseph. No, yeah, Joseph would have been good to tackle. Let's see here. Free agency. All right, here we go. Free agency starts on the 6th. Nope, free agency actually starts on the 14th. Legal tampering starts on the 14th. Today is the 9th.
We have to get a different name for this legal tampering. Sorry, I'm just.
I know it's just one of those things. I believe today is the 9th when Shane will wield the axe and get the Giants under the cap. He's got to do it soon. And that's
Literally.
a great question. He literally has to do it soon. He's running out of time. People are like, what happens if you go over the cap at the start of the year? I will tell you.
I was going to say, I don't know. I thought it was a good question.
The world implodes. That's what happens. No, what happens is basically you have a period of time. They give you a little grace period, but then you're technically you're supposed to lose draft choices. You're supposed to be fined. I don't know. When is the next radio show? I am waiting for someone to call out sick. I am waiting. I kind of feel like either a vulture or death, because I'm literally waiting for my opportunity to shine because someone calls out sick or breaks their leg.
I've just got this image of you, like the understudy at the children's play, waiting to go on. I just want my moment to shine in the wings.
I'm just waiting for the call.
I don't want to be the third extra on the left anymore.
The worst part is I'm only doing overnight, so there's only one person. And I'm going to fill in for them in August no matter what, because that's their 2-week vacation. But he's got to call out sick. Not that I wish.
He's got to have a night off between now and August, surely.
I'm hoping.
I'm looking forward to calling in.
Or anything. I just, maybe the sniffles.
I'm looking forward to calling in.
So am I. Because the day I was supposed to go on, what happens? We have a northeaster, or whatever the hell it was called, the big storm we had, where the power went out for a day, for almost 2 days. Oh, it's just my life.
Someone trying to tell you something.
I think so too. I wonder how Philly fans will react when he returns to Philly. We do talk about Carson Wentz playing against the Giants. We do talk about that, but we never talked about the fact that Carson Wentz is going to go up against Philly. And Carson Wentz, he's basically come out and said that he hates Philly.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to get a good reception, but at the end of the day, and I know it's Foles that got them over the line. He got them in a position where they won a Super Bowl. And I think you have to remember the good with the bad, right? With any former player. But he's not going to get a good reception.
Just remember, you take the good, you take the bad, and take it all. And there you have the facts of life. Another TV show.
I'm familiar with the reference thanks to Scrubs. There's a episode where they sing old TV show themes for some reason that escapes me.
T-Brad loves Annie. That's why me and T-Brad are like this. Me and the T-Brad, man. Me, T-Brad, James Williams. I've already told James, got to come over to the house. And T-Brad's got to bring the bar. I got the barbecue. I got the I got the big backyard overlooking the farm. I got the steaks from the farm. I have the chairs from Giant Stadium, old Giant MetLife. I'm at Meadowlands sitting down here, and I already told James. I said what we're going to do is I'm going to have these two guys over. We're going to sit in the chairs, and we're going to do a live stream from the chairs
with James's bar. Not James, T-Brad's bar. T-Brad has a good.
James,
that was an impressive bar.
James is bringing the mac and cheese. I've already talked to him about it today. He's bringing the mac and cheese. We're big mac and cheese people in this house, and we're good. We want good mac and cheese.
What do you put in your mac and cheese?
I can't tell you.
It's not bloody KFC secret recipe.
I don't have the recipe in front of me. I literally can't tell you. And James is gonna have. We went to this party. My friend Quaddy went to this party, and he made the great.
Sorry,
they made
Quaddy.
great. What's that?
Who was it?
Quaddy.
I mean, to be fair, I have friends called Frosty and Parch. So.
Well, Quaddy's his actual name.
Oh, okay.
Black.
Apologies. all right.
You racist. Put him in for racist timeouts. Go to racist timeout, Dom. But he made this mac and cheese, and it was stellar mac and cheese, and it goes great with barbecue. And then James sent me the recipe, his recipe for his aunt's mac and cheese, and I'm dying to try it. But James said his girl will make it for us, so I was like, hell yeah, bring it down. Will Evan Ingram return to the Giants? No. Do the Commanders still draft a quarterback in the first round, or do they sit and think it's down? I think they don't draft a quarterback in the first round. I think that the Washington Commanders are going to ride with Wentz unless he gets hurt. Fitzpatrick looks like he's probably never coming back.
They've still got Taylor Heineke, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
so
he did a good job last year for them.
Yeah, you know. I wouldn't do it. I would stand pat. If anything, it enhances our ability right now to get Malik Willis. It's snowing out, your guys. Taking the George. It's snowing here. I don't know if it was snowing this morning. And it's supposed to snow on Friday. Does Dom get a cut of the Poppycocker merchandise? No. No, he didn't create anything. Oh my God! Once you create something, then you get a cut. I don't even know if we sold anything. Poppycocker merch is available, and if you want, like I said, if you need to get some Poppycocker merch, it is available. I think we have sold some stuff. I haven't checked.
Dom is here for kicks and giggles and nothing more.
Dom is here for kicks and giggles, and you know what? Also, Dom is always here from Poppycockers, the best adult entertainment in the West End. If you're looking to get your poppycock, there's no better place to go than the Poppycockers. See how easily I do that now? Because I got it on the soundboard. Think about getting a new computer. Apple came out with a brand new computer. It's like a supercomputer. I think I can land planes with it.
I think my computer's from 1994.
Going in 1999. Philly fans will throw horse poop, snowballs, and batteries. I don't know where the hell they got the horse poop from. All right.
I mean, I'm assuming Zach means at Carson Wentz, but maybe just in general, they enjoy that sort of thing.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to get back to T-Brad's other question. T-Brad's in. He's in for the James Williams part, but my mac and cheese is undefeated. Oh, T-Brad. We're gonna have to talk, brother. We're gonna have to chit-chat a little bit here.
That sounds like a showdown.
It sounds like a mac and cheese cook-off. And you are right. Carson Wentz is a Super Bowl champion.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you can't ever take it away from the man.
Sure you can. You can go steal his ring, then he doesn't have it. It's like the Green Lantern. And if you don't have your ring, it doesn't happen. It doesn't work.
Oh, now who's getting geeky?
You. Shane says he wants to get under 40 million. Is that realistic? No. Especially when I keep reading they are looking to restructure Blake. And here's the problem. You're going to restructure Blake and you're going to restructure Shep. But here's the one thing that people seem to forget. The guaranteed money doesn't go away. That doesn't disappear.
It's also, and I've always said in some ways you have to take what they say in these press conferences with a bit of pinch of salt. It would go against what he was saying he wanted to do, which was to push money for existing players down the road. And that I do believe is something he wants to do. And certainly if it's not something he wants to, I think it's something he should do.
Hold on. I gotta yell at people. Like the damn video. Subscribe. Subscribe. I got this. Tim Online Big Blue bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk entertainment. Like, subscribe, do all those fun things, or Dom will dance. I love my soundboard.
No one wants to see me dance, like literally no one, including me.
And it just jumped up 3. T-Brad.
My wife describes as on our wedding day, our first dance is like moving a fridge round the dance floor. I had to correct her because it's
wouldn't it be a mini fridge?
Mini fridge, exactly. I did have to correct her on that point. Chick-fil-A has awesome mac and cheese. I do like Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese.
I do like Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. Chick-fil-A has awesome mac and cheese. I do like Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. I do like Chick-fil-A's mac and cheese. Chick-fil-A has awesome mac and cheese. You don't have
I put bacon in mine.
You're a communist. Who the hell?
That's your response.
Bacon in their mac and cheese. Commie. Dom needs to start his own YouTube channel. Read a book behind him while drinking tea.
In a comfy rocking chair. By the fire.
Do you have your man blanket?
I do have my man blanket.
Dom's got his man blankie. Oh my god.
The heating goes off here. Like it's 9 o'clock at night. Like you can't sleep the heating on. It'd be too hot.
Oh yeah, they did eat horse poop at the. Someone did eat horse poop in Philadelphia.
Really?
Yeah, they did. They really did during the parade. Let's see here. Spike that like button. Spike the like button. Spike it. Why are we talking about poop now? I'm seeing poop things here. Yeah. Yes, they ate. Yes, they. No, he actually ate the horse poop too. It was pretty gross. Let's see if Steven can save us.
I have even less respect from Philly fans than I did before.
I thought Steven was going to save us from the poop. My reaction to the horse poop throwing in European football in Spain is a team threw a pig's head at the pitcher because a player moved teams.
Yeah, that did happen.
We want a pitcher, not a belly itcher. We want a pitcher, not someone throwing.
I think it was. I can't remember. It was either Atletico or Seville. I think from memory.
I'm the barber of Seville. Figaro, Figaro, Figaro. Tim, they got it from the police. They got the horse poop from the police. Oh my God. You know what, guys? We've only been on for an hour, and this is already going way out of control here. Let's get back to talking about the Giants and not Philadelphia fans eating horse poop or throwing it at people. Where's James Williams to save us? T-Brad, say something. T-Brad, where's Maris Carpenter?
Haven't seen him for a while.
You know what I always do?
Makes a lot of sense.
He does make a lot. I'm going to post a link here because a lot of times what happens is I post a link and then Maris Carpenter shows up.
It's like he's got an antenna. Quick.
He's like Batman.
Really quickly while we wait for
while we're waiting for Maris Carpenter.
What did you make of the Rodgers and Wilson trade? I know they're not technically Giants, but the Wilson trade potentially has repercussions for the Giants if they want to move up.
I did a video about it. Go watch the video. Did a whole video about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but I said Rodgers and Wilson. So
he's on the wrong side of 30. Both players are. They're on the wrong side of 30. Which is a mistake. You gave a boatload of picks for Russell Wilson, and you have to hope you have a fantastic offense, but your defense right now in Denver is going to be suspect at best. But you got a fabulous offense, and we all know offense wins championship. There's like all these signs that say offense wins championships. Never heard once defense wins a championship.
I don't know what that means anymore. But no, I mean I can.
Hold on. Shut up. Hold on. I got to drop somebody in here, Dom. You know who it is?
I'm Batman.
It's T-Brad.
What's going on? What's going on, T?
The day.
Yeah, to get us stop talking about poop, I'm in.
Oh, God. Stop talking about the damn horse poop.
Yeah, from Philadelphia. I'm in. And I wanted to get on here earlier, man, because I'm actually combine crushing.
Okay.
Every year you have I'm combine crushing Walker, man. I liked him in Georgia before the combine. Somebody already liked. But when those numbers went off and he had those long arms, and then I watched him up against Evan Neal where he held his own. Evan Neal got the best of him, more plays. Right. He really held his own and he won. I was like, whoa, this guy could be special, but again, there's pass rushers everywhere in this draft.
There's a plethora of pass rushers right now. We have to acknowledge Raw being enthusiasts for the $2 super chat. Thank you for the super chat. All super chats go to the Philadelphia Children's Hospital. What do you think of Jordan Davis?
We don't need him, but we don't need him. We got King of the almost sack. That's my first thought. But
King of the almost sack.
I think he's going to go high. I think, somebody needs somebody to plug the middle up. And, I mean, I do agree with what you said about some combine numbers not being important. If my defensive tackle has to reach his top speed, our defense is in trouble.
We got a problem. If your defensive tackle's running sideline to sideline, we got an issue.
we got a big problem. If he has to be on the field and reach that 4.7 speed or whatever the hell he reached, we got problems. But I think he's a good player, though. I think he's a beast.
Yeah, we got.
You just can't take him as a Giants, right? At 5 or 7, even if you trade back to 12, you just can't.
Even if we trade back, we can't take him. And I listened to what you guys said about corner. I just kind of got hyped on corner because I was like, if we can get pressure and get a man corner, it helps with Wink's system.
Right.
I'm literally just getting home from work.
Mr. Esquire says, after watching the combine, I hope we pick Icky at 5, Trayvon Walker at 7. If either of the offensive tackles are available, then Gardner and Walker. See, like I said, here's another. I'm seeing Walker a lot for under Giant enthusiast right now. And I think it's an interesting pick, but I can't pull the trigger at 5 or 7 for Walker.
I'm going to tell you like this. For me, and this is probably why Walker's stepping up, because Thibodeau lack of doing the workouts probably rubbed people the wrong way.
Right.
You know what I mean? When your passion for football is being questioned, who didn't?
Yeah, but Neil didn't work out.
But his passion for football was never questioned.
Right. But
that is an issue.
But Thibodeau's passion only got questioned after the season. It was never questioned during the season.
But did he play? And also, Evan Neal had a whole year of footage where Tibbs doesn't have any for the last year. I don't think Tibbs played this year. A game, half a game.
I don't think he. I agree. Here's a good question by Raw Being Enthusiast. Wait, I got to ask this question because you know what? You need to jump in on this question. I need your expertise because we know what it is about. Hear me out. Okay, Raw Being Enthusiast. We've already talked about this, but I want to get T-Brad on this. Hear me out. Sign Trubisky as a solid bridge quarterback. Draft Willis. Let him sit be a year as raw quarterbacks and good organizations have done. Just a thought no one has come up with yet, knowing the bit is exciting. Here's the problem.
All aboard the Malik Willis Express.
Raw Bean, T-Brad and I and the Dahmer, we have been talking about Malik Willis for August of last year. We've been saying draft. We've been saying sign Trubisky and bring in Willis. I just did a video about it. But you know what, T-Brad? I mean, Trubisky gets a raw deal, I think, sometimes. And Dom even brought up eloquently. He got a raw deal in Chicago, I think. I think he's a good bridge quarterback. But what are your thoughts? I mean, the stars seem to be aligning right now for a Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. Bring him the
boom into MetLife. I mean, what do you think?
For me, you know what I feel about Malik Willis. Bring him. But Trubisky, I think Trubisky can have like a Kerry Collins type of story where, hey, I was drafted high. I had some ups and downs. Now I get to the right place, right time, and I got a chance to play. Like, right. If he comes here, he's definitely got a chance to play. But Daniel Jones by no means is etched in stone, especially with that neck. So I have no problem bringing him in, but I don't want to bring him in and lose Malik Willis.
Well, see, that's the thing. I think actually if you bring him in, and I don't know if you were on earlier, I say you trade Daniel Jones, you start Trubisky, you have Davis Webb tutor him. You got it all set up.
I said earlier.
If anyone takes Daniel Jones, though, who's going to take him? That's the toughest thing.
I think in the chat, the thing Canada is going to take him. Yeah, we're going to send him to USFL. I mean, the CFL.
Is it Winnipeg? Winnipeg will take him?
We're going to send him to Winnipeg. Dom, what's that team you like? Manchester United? What team do you like watching soccer? We're going to send him to Manchester United.
He can keep goal because the boy can catch.
Listen, he can't run anyway, so he might suck at soccer as well.
He can play goalkeeper because the boy can catch.
That's true. Evan Ingram's in the house, says, hey, Tim, I can catch too. Do you see what teams have interest in me, Evan Ingram? And who do you guys think? A lot of teams. Who do you guys? We'll start with Dom real quick. Who do you think Evan Ingram would go to?
I mean, I don't know off the top of my head who's tight end needy straight off the top of my head, but I mean, Evan Ingram, I think, is a real player in there. I think for teams that want that pass option from the tight end, who's a capable average blocker, I think he's there. I think that Evan Ingram in a league where a good tight end is really, really useful, and there aren't a great deal out there at the moment on the market. I think he gets paid.
I would just like to point something out to you, Dom. I'd just like to point something out. I got a very tight end. Just throwing it out there. Just want to throw that out there. T-Brad, where could the Ingram go?
There's so many places. Dare I say it? He can go to Philadelphia. Dare I say it? He can go to Philadelphia.
Replace Zach Ertz, yeah?
Yeah, Philly uses 2 tight ends. They really get a lot out of their tight ends, and Evan Ingram's super athletic. He can go to Cleveland. There's another team I had in mind that he would probably fit in real good. It wasn't the Chargers, but Evan Ingram, the question is, does he want money or does he want to go somewhere and ball out and get money later? You know what I'm saying? But there's so many teams that could use him and his average or less than average hands.
Well, I think we're all forgetting about Green Bay. I think another weapon for our old buddy Aaron Rodgers, who just signed for $9,468.38. I mean, and I think Evan Ingram, like I said, there's a lot of speculation that he's going to play in the slot, that he's going to be put out wide, he's going to be put in the tight end position. And I like I said, I would like to bring him back on a team friendly deal, but he's 27 years old. This is his contract year. This is the year
done with team friendly.
Yeah, he's got to get paid.
Cincinnati, maybe?
What's that?
Cincinnati, maybe?
Cincinnati? I could see.
Very good.
I could see the Cincinnati Bengals as well. Zach, thank you for the super sticker. I always get excited when I get a sticker because I got no clue what it is. But thank you for the super sticker.
What sticker have you got? Because you got. They come with like pictures, right?
No, they don't.
Do they not anymore? I thought you got excited the other week because they came with one.
I'm a little upset because the stickers. I did get it. Oh yeah, the sticker I got the other week had a picture on it. It was really cool, and it kept me entertained for like an hour. Let's see here. Let's see.
I got one, Tim.
What's your question?
Real quarterback. They just traded Noah Fant. Maybe he slides in there.
There you go. I mean, I agree with that as well. I mean, like I said, there's a lot of places we could send him.
How would you feel if he ended up in like Washington or as you said, T-Brad, like the Eagles took him? How and then he goes and balls out. I mean, I think that's a genuine possibility that he balls out.
Oh yeah. I mean, much rather seen it on our team, but I understand the business side of things.
Hey, listen, you got to make your money. We got a question here saying, praying that this is one of those weird drafts where Hutchinson falls to us at 5. I doubt it. But if the dude from Oregon is there, where do we take him? Do we take him? We do. Now, I don't think Hutchinson. Does anyone think that I have him number 1 on the board? Hutchinson. Do you think Dom, do you think there's any chance that Hutchinson would fall to 5?
No, and I think the chance of Jacksonville taking him have just increased after they franchise tagged their left tackle.
Yeah. So that's a good point. But T-Brad, do you think there's any chance Hutchinson falls to 5?
There's always a chance. I don't think he gets past Detroit. I really don't. I think that the odds of bringing the guy who just played in Ann Arbor, I don't think he gets past Detroit. That's just me. But we've seen stranger things.
Who's got a cough?
That is my daughter upstairs.
Oh my goodness!
Sounds quite nicely one that.
Yeah, so hopefully she's feeling better. Hopefully it's nothing serious.
No, just another rainy day in South Jersey. But yeah, I think I don't know. I think he could drop, but let's put me in on the less than 10%.
Less than 10%.
There's a less than 10% chance.
I'm going less than 1. I think there's no chance.
What we'll do, Dom, is if he drops, you'll take 2 shots, and I'll take 1 if he doesn't.
There you go. I like the betting. LJ's got a question.
Can I choose my shot from your bar?
Yeah, I know you got enough.
Absolutely.
You got enough to choose from. LJ says the Saints for Daniel Jones, or maybe that's for Evan Ingram. What'd be funny? I would think Evan Ingram or Daniel Jones would be an interesting option for the Saints.
Can they afford him?
No. No. They can afford him like we can afford all the alcohol behind T. Brad's bar. No, it's not going to happen. we don't have that kind of money.
There was a rumor that the Saints were, and I don't know. I mean, it's just a YouTube rumor off of somewhere that the Saints were interested in Daniel Jones, kind of. I don't know. I don't know anything of truth to it, but hey, I'll get rid of Daniel Jones for anything.
I know. Hey, Nikki. Since you put up the waving, hey, Nikki's in the house. Noah's punching the air right now that he still has no quarterback, stuck with Drew Lock again or Geno Smith. Noah Fant, the tight end. Yeah, he's probably not too happy. he's probably not ecstatic going to Seattle and being
I suspect he's had better days.
I think he's had. I think a lot of the guys. I think the draft choices were even upset that they went to Seattle. They're like,
but good job with Seattle because they've got full value. I couldn't believe they got all that for no disrespect, but he's an older guy, man, and I couldn't believe they got all that.
I said the same thing. He's on the wrong side of 30. You figure maybe 2 years, 2-3 productive, like high quality productive Russell Wilson years. So you have a great offensive Denver, but you have a very small window. It's the Peyton Manning thing all over again.
Absolutely. And one thing that I realized was what I looked at when I seen that trade, I said, well, now we don't have to worry about Denver for a quarterback. But I said, hey, now
got to worry about Seattle at 9 now.
Wait a minute. Don't get mad at me. Seattle needs a quarterback. And if nobody takes a quarterback by the 4th pick, they may call. And they got enough, they may call us at 5.
You know what the problem is? I'm not picking up.
Because they're gonna take the express. They're gonna jump on the express.
I'm not picking up. They can call all they want. I got caller ID. That caller's blocked.
It all depends on Shane. I mean, if Shane wants a quarterback, he doesn't pick it up. If Shane's not taking a quarterback there, then I can see him taking that call.
If Malik Willis is there at 5, if he's there at 5, and the Giants pass on him and trade that pick to Seattle or to whomever, I'm going to call Shane an idiot, and I'm going to drive to his house and I'm going to call him an idiot in person.
But what if, mind you, we get a future pick for next year as well? Like, let's say they trade us, we swap first, we get the second that they just earned, and we get an additional their highest first from next year.
No,
which gives us 2. Ooh.
No,
ooh.
I have
That's
a quarterback.
A lot, man.
I have a quarterback sitting there. And everyone's like, well, if Daniel Jones implodes, we can go to next year and get the quarterback. How do we know? How do we know Bryce Young is going to not pull a Tua and either suck or get injured?
I think it's like 3 guys.
How do we know that Malik Willis pulls it up, right? I mean, I think we can probably all agree he's either going to be up here or down here. Right. There's going to be not a lot in between.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's nothing in between. But you know what? You can't take a shot unless you actually shoot the ball. And if the Giants,
you could take your shot next year potentially.
How do I know?
You can take the first you just traded this year.
How do I know? How do I know all 3 quarterbacks don't get wrecked during the college season? How do I know Bryce Young falls off the planet? How do I know the other guy blows out his knee?
Or they pull a Spencer Rattler.
Exactly. Yes, or they pull a Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, the answer is you don't know. But if you're not in love with Malik Willis, and I'm not talking you, I'm talking now Shane. Right, if he's not in love with Malik,
I don't like negative Malik Willis talk. Don't like negative Malik Willis talk. If you want to talk negative about Malik Willis, go on Chris's show. Say the hell.
Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Think you're gonna get away with that? Not up in here.
I love that from a Hangover.
You got
up in here.
You gotta get that soundbite, man. I'm gonna email you some soundbite ideas.
You email me some soundbite ideas. I got 50 buttons, and then there's multiple boards after that, so I can do like 400 sound effects. I got 23 hours of sound effects.
Oh, great! Yeah, I love that. Not up in here.
I love that. Not up in here. Dom, you were saying.
Am I allowed to question the integrity of Malik Willis? Actually, no. You cannot question the integrity of Malik Willis. No. That guy is a stand-up guy, right? No questions on that. But as I say, you just don't know what.
Okay, now you're just being facetious. Now you're just
I knew that was
being
a setup.
now you're just being facetious. You want to be facetious? Go somewhere else. Let's see if he's learned his lesson.
You want to continue using big words?
I got a lot of big words. A lot of them are curse words too. Are you done now?
Yeah,
Okay.
we see. Probably not. I don't learn so good.
I don't learn so well. The Jets make me nervous.
But that was a film quote.
What's that?
That was a film quote.
Oh yeah. I'm reading the thing now. The Jets make me nervous. One of the Jets YouTubers say rumors are circulating the Jets will trade up the top 10 pick, and they're making me sweat a little. Does anyone worry about the Jets trading?
Not at 10 because we're at 5 and 7. We're at 5 and 7. I'm not worried about them trading 10. I'm worried about them trading 4.
Cockers cash for the win. Sorry, Nikki. Oh, Nikki. I was gonna hold on, wait, just for Nikki. Where is it? Oh my god.
You're spot on though, T-Brad, when he finds what he's looking for. Them trading 4 is more of a concern.
What did I do with the button? Why did I put it up at 29? Why did I put it up?
Tim's gonna be so pissed if they trade 4 and Malik goes at 4 and we're sitting at 5. He is going to be so mad.
I will not be happy. But you know what would make me? It would make me. We would take away the sting if we lost Malik Willis. It would be a trip down the Poppycockers, the best in adult entertainment on the West End. If you're looking to get your poppycock, there's no better place to go than the Poppycockers. Poppycocker merchandise is currently available on the online Big Blue website. Use the code name Cocker Cash and get $5 off your first order.
Oh, I love the Poppycockers. Just quickly to circle back though to Trubisky. Do you guys think that Trubisky coming here is going to happen, or do you think he's using the Giants to increase his value elsewhere?
T-Brad?
Hold on, I was reading about the selling of the mac and cheese. Now go ahead with it. Sorry, let's deal with the mac and cheese first, and we get on to Mitch Trubisky.
Yes, to the important thing, the mac and cheese.
No, we don't sell it. We could though. We could. We just don't actually have the time. We could. It crushes everywhere we go. It crushes. But different people like different kinds of mac and cheese. Make it baked, make it soft, however you want. But one day we'll I'll give it by for a try.
What is in your mac and cheese? Is your mac and cheese a little crusty? Is your mac and cheese baked? How you doing your mac and cheese? Got a little bit of
it's baked. We go 3 cheeses. I can't give it away. Then everyone has.
I know.
Yeah, we'll do about 3 cheeses, but I can do it. We do it either baked because my daughter doesn't like it baked. My oldest daughter doesn't like it baked, so she likes us to just break down the cheese, put it in a bowl for her, and she's good to go. But my youngest and everyone else, they like it fully baked. And you bake it, you cut it like a slice of lasagna, and you're good to go.
Oh, so you have the slice of lasagna? Okay.
Yeah, that's how I do mine.
That we are having at Online Big Blue Casa the mac and cheese cook-off between the T-Brad and James Williams. James Williams recipes from his aunt. T-Brad's
from my mother's.
T-Brad's recipes from the mom.
Yeah.
We're having a mac and cheese cook-off.
And mine's from right up here, but I put bacon in mine to pep it up a little.
That's why you're a communist. No bacon. We have a trade idea.
Uh-oh.
Okay. ECK Sports is trade idea. Giants get DK, the 9th pick. Seattle gets the 5th pick, James Bradbury and Darius Slayton.
I'd take that. I'd dive on that.
Dom?
I like the idea of moving Bradbury and Slayton on.
But wait a minute.
But you can get Lloyd at 7.
That's the problem. You're losing.
Hold on.
You're taking Devin Lloyd.
Talk to me about that at 7.
Yeah, I was gonna say 7. I don't have a problem with 7. 9. I got a problem with. I mean, 5. I got a problem with.
Yeah, I don't think I take that. I think I look elsewhere to try and trade off James Bradbury.
Let's have an Online Big Blue potluck meetup.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's all I need. All these people in my house. That's all I need.
Your house.
You know what?
Let's have a
tailgate rush one week.
Oh, I would
when
do
the
that.
season starts, we'll do a tailgate rush. Meet right in the parking lot.
I would do that. I'm always in the red lot right next to the Verizon Center. LJ wants to know, Brad, South Jersey near Sicklerville?
Absolutely near Sicklerville. Exactly in Sicklerville.
So there's going to be a Brad LJ meetup. LJ, you got a mac and cheese recipe? Because I'm coming over. Coming over. I'll grab James Williams on the way. He's in New York. Coming right over. Hop, skipping a jump.
That's funny. He said it. He said near Sicklerville. I'm like, yeah, exactly near Sicklerville.
He goes, are you kidding me?
I'm 100% true.
He's not kidding. Look at him. Look at that face. It's serious.
True. Tell him I just came off of traffic on 42.
You know what the good news is? You can hear him. He can hear you when you talk. I don't have to tell him anything. He can hear you.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah, my mic's on.
Yeah. That's how this works. V section. That's what James is saying. V section.
I have no idea what V section means. I'm from Trenton originally.
Trenton, man.
Yeah.
You and I were talking about City Gardens.
Yes, right.
I know what V sign is.
Vagina.
Use.
It's in the vagina.
He must be talking about Valaris. V section. He might be talking about going to a spot called Valaris. Everybody.
Oh, there you go. Well, then
drink. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. I'm going to Valaris, or I'm going to the V section here. Either or is good. Let's see here. We got any giant questions. So, Brad, do you think pork rolls instead of Taylor ham?
I am from Trenton, New Jersey, and I grew up on pork rolls.
I know where this
Taylor ham is the brand.
That's right.
Pork roll is the product.
Thank you. And City Gardens is one of the greatest clubs ever.
Yep. All cotton swabs are not Q-tips.
That's true. When you make a copy, it's not a Xerox.
Once you get past exit 9, you can get shot. On the turnpike, you can get shot for saying it the other way around.
It's true. That's true. He says, okay, cool, says LJ. Jonathan wants to know, the 5 and the 7th pick become more valuable does the 5 and 7th pick become more valuable with all these quarterback moves or all these quarterback news? Dom, what do you think? Does the 5 and 7th pick become more valuable, or has it decreased a little?
I mean, it depends on what Seattle do in free agency, but I think they're potentially there. Carolina may want to move up to 4. I think 4 would be the one I'd be more concerned about if you're wanting a quarterback, because I think the Jets could comfortably move that back.
Brad, same question. Does the 5 and 7 pick become more valuable or less valuable with these trades?
I actually agree 100% with Dom. It all depends on what the Jets do, because, and again, you don't.
There's no agreeing with Dom. There's no agreeing with Dom.
You got one good.
Yeah, there's no agreeing
to the one good club.
There's no agreeing with Dom.
I don't agree with him anymore. I don't agree with him anymore.
You turncoat.
I had to stay on.
Where's your follow through? Come on.
He did follow through. He followed through to the good side, not the dark side.
With all the moves happening, it does make the picks more valuable, in my opinion. But what do people want? Because maybe somebody's moving up and they falling in love with somebody who's not a quarterback. You never know.
Until free agency's happened, it's impossible to tell.
Right. If Tibbs starts dropping, if people are really in love with Tibbs and they need an edge rusher, we've seen it before. Someone to move up and go get him.
We have. We've seen crazy trades. Now,
yep.
I had to. I mean, this Seattle trade kind of blows my mind a little bit, because I remember the Dallas trade. I remember the Herschel Walker trade. I was watching football then, and all the assets that Dallas got for trading Herschel Walker built that team into a Super Bowl contender.
Absolutely.
I mean, T-Rad, do you feel in any way that this is going to be deja vu all over again, as Yogi Berra would say?
Ooh, hopefully I don't get Wonka. It could happen.
Don't agree with Dom. You're fine.
It could happen. Somebody could be in love with someone and say, hey, I'll give you a boatload. What they just got from Russell Wilson blew my mind. So anything's possible. When a team really loves somebody, they'll give it all up.
You know, the funny thing is and this is the funny thing about the Herschel Walker trade. they never used Herschel Walker correctly in Minnesota.
Nope.
Herschel Walker is 7 yards behind the center, I formation, fullback in front of him. They never did that with him. They went totally a different direction. He never fit their offense. So then my same question to you, Dom, is does Russell Wilson, and I know it's Russell Wilson, but Herschel Walker was a star when they traded him. Does Russell Wilson fit what they want to do in Denver?
Well, we don't know because they got a new head coach, right? So we don't know. I mean, you have to assume that they will now build their offense around what he does and what he does well, and he does a heck of a lot of things well. But as you say, they haven't got long to get this right. I get why they did it. I 100% get why they did it. They feel they're ready to win now, and he's the difference. And I think it puts them in the window, definitely. But we don't know. It's like we don't know what our offense is. We keep saying we're going to draft this player because it fits our system. What system? We don't know. We don't know what our system is.
T-Brad, same question. Does he fit Denver? And don't agree with Dom.
He's going to have to. You know, he's going to have to fit. You know what I mean? You just have to make it fit. That's just what it is at this point. You traded all those assets. Put it like this. He's going to be better than Drew Lock. He's going to be a whole lot better than Drew Lock.
It's not
a whole lot better than Teddy Bridgewater.
Fangio is the most upset man in the universe right now over this trade. Why couldn't you do this for me last year?
Mike Glenn has dropped into the room, says other giant YouTubers and experts are finally catching up with you and singing the praises of Malik Willis.
Malik Willis. Bring in the boom.
It's about time. It is about time, Mike. I mean, it's about
unquestionably the number one quarterback in this class.
And you know, and it's only the hype is only going to get worse because of the fact that he hasn't even done his pro day yet. He hasn't had individual workouts yet. It's going to get in. I'm telling you right now, there's going to be so much talk about him going second overall. And you know, T-Brad, we wouldn't be happy about that.
And his intangibles are unquestioned, right?
Yeah.
His character, flawless.
He only gives away clothes to homeless people.
Yep.
What a douche.
If you ever heard any of his interviews, man, he's just like, man, this kid, you just really like the kid. He just says all the right things. He really does.
Now,
so you guys know the New York media market better than I do, but would you have any concerns about him coming in and dealing with that New York media?
No.
At all. I mean,
I would have no concerns about
him. He's too humble. He's
too
humble. He'll be fine.
That
like,
was my view.
It's people who, it's the people that come here brash and braggadocious and don't back it up that they kind of swallow up, you know. I mean, look at Odell Beckham. He backed it up. They still swallowed him up.
Could you imagine Baker Mayfield here or Pickett? I mean, I
would have loved Baker Mayfield here. I would have loved.
I think he would. I think he would have been.
I think Baker Mayfield would have wilted under this media.
Yeah,
I
do.
That's why it would have been fun.
Not if he was your quarterback.
Great.
Not if he was your quarterback. If he was at the Jets, maybe. But
well, I wasn't taking him to the Giants. Like he could say here, it could be New York. You know what the thing of? And now, T-Brad, I got this question for you.
All right.
Malik Willis is a very religious guy. Went to a Baptist college. Very religious man. Very religious. He praises the Lord every chance he gets in interviews. Everyone kind of got turned off by Tim Tebow because, you know, he would praise the Lord as well. He would take a knee on the sideline. You know, or
not a knee in football.
Well, yeah, I know.
What was that about?
Don't do that. But do you think there would be any, because of his religious beliefs, do you think there would be any backlash in the New York media if, you know, he was himself? And, you know, and like I said, I am religious. You know, I thank the Lord for everything that I have and the blessings that I have.
Amen,
you know, but there is a difference between me saying that as an Irish Catholic than a gentleman coming in to be the starting quarterback of the New York Giants and doing the same thing after they basically ran Tim Tebow out of the league.
Tim Tebow didn't produce. If he produced
the playoff game, he had a winning record. You can't tell me Tim Tebow couldn't be the third string quarterback on some team.
Look at his stats for that playoff game he won and tell me you want that quarterback outside of that big play he had to Demaryius Thomas.
Yeah.
I think winning solves everything, and people are less skeptical when you're winning.
Yep.
You know, if he's praying the Lord and he's caught up in a strip club, you know, people are going to call him a hypocrite. Not to say you can't praise the Lord and praise the booty. I mean, you go to poppycockers, but
Urban, you keep Malik away from the strip clubs. Do you? I make myself clear.
Urban Myers doesn't know any better.
Yes, but I think if he's winning, and you know, everyone just lets it all go. Winning is what matters in New York market. Not shooting yourself in the leg, you know, not shooting yourself in the leg, not some of the other things people may do. Winning solves it all.
And I'm going to give this PSA one more time. If you are going to a strip club and you're wearing sweatpants, do not carry your gun in your pants. Make sure you have a holster.
Yeah.
Okay. Just throwing that, just throwing that out there. A pimp named Slickback, of course. Thank you for the super chat. Hey, Tim, just pumped gas. It was $4.35. When I left the gas station, it was $4.50. That's
good
not.
timing.
That's the economy. And you know what? You just, Mr. Slickback, you just gave the kids $5 worth of gas, so they can go somewhere for 15 miles or whatever kind of car they drive. But yeah,
you trade Daniel Jones for a full tank of gas.
He's not worth that much.
I was gonna say.
I mean, that's like $100.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. Mr. Alvarez says, exactly. I never said we needed to draft a right tackle with the first. We can draft one after the first. I think we could find. I think this draft is deep enough for the Giants to pick up offensive line help in the second and third round. What about you guys, Dom?
Yeah, even if you don't take a tackle, right? We're not going to solve everything this year, so we can't pick up all our needs this year. But yeah, you can pick up. It's certainly interior offensive lineman, second, third, fourth round, maybe even. Yeah, no question for me. You don't have to take it in the first round.
I like this one. This one's from T-Brad. Praise the Lord and praise the booty will be the new catchphrase.
Absolutely.
I love that one. Jonathan says that's going to be our new catchphrase.
Let's do it. What they say on there's a God somewhere.
T-Brad, I'm going to hit you with a movie quote. You got to tell me what movie it would. It would be my duty.
Shaft. The newer Shaft.
Not Richard Roundtree.
So fast.
I know. That's why I paused, and I didn't even finish the rest. It was Samuel L. Jackson as Shaft.
Absolutely.
T-Brad faster than a defensive tackle in the combine.
Oh, dude.
Welcome to the party, pal.
We're all jumping into the party. Oh my God. I knew T-Brad would know that because the T-Brad, when he came up with my break-in, trivia question the other day, I had a feeling you would be good with that. LJ says, as long as he's good, he's be fine. Tim Tebow sucks. And that's true.
Yeah, he did. He did. I think Skip Bayless kind of pushed Tebow a little further than he needed to. All he does is win. I remember people, and I'm going to start from the very beginning. This is a very good place to start. Movie quote. Anyway, if you can figure that one out, you're pretty good. But I remember when Michael Vick would have amazing games using his legs and throwing the ball, and everybody would be like, well, he needs to sit back in the pocket a little more. It's like they just blew the team out. And then you look at Tim Tebow, he would do the same thing, but have terrible stats, and they barely win the game because of the defense Denver had. And everybody was praising Tim Tebow. I'm like, am I in a different world? What happened?
Well, I will tell you this. I got wrapped up in Tebow mania. Not that I thought Tim Tebow was a good quarterback. I got wrapped up in it because of the fact that you're like, people always wonder, is there a God? And I know we're going to get theological on this channel now. Is there a God? Well, there must be, because I saw some of those plays in Denver, and no mere mortal could have done some of the shit that Tim Tebow did and came up with. You're down by 13 with like 2.5 minutes, and you come back and win the game.
I bet they didn't do it.
If God is answering football prayers, I like for him to answer my gas prayer. Gas prayer.
I would like some gas prayer too. Kareem says, I think there'll be more people looking for him to fail because of his beliefs. And that'd be Malik. And I don't disagree with that. I don't
can see
disagree.
that. Yeah.
I mean, Dom, I mean, do you think that people would be, just because he is such a good kid, just because he does praise the Lord and everything else, do you think that they would be looking for him or waiting for him to fail to say, look, see, he's not that great?
I think the people that just look and hope that people fail at everything and will look for a reason for it, and that will be a stick to beat him with if he does fail. And I think that would be grossly unfair on the lad. I really do.
I agree. I mean, I agree. And
Did
just
you
remember,
disagree with Dom?
I disagree. I disagree with Dom. I'm allowed to agree with Dom. Oh wait,
He's wonkered himself.
At least he stayed consistent.
Hey, look, being wonkered is so cool that he's decided to join the party.
Welcome to the party, back.
Yeah, he's going to be straight back on now.
What would be terrible is if he couldn't bring himself back in. That would be terrible.
Yeah.
look, see, I even knew I even knew it. I even knew it. I just had to. Let's see here. Let's see. Jonathan says, I have become a Boston College center and guard on day 2. I'm a fan of Boston College's center and guard on day 2. Who is Boston College's center?
I've heard a lot about him. I
I'll
honestly haven't looked at him.
Give me 5.
I know. I mean, is he talking about? I'm assuming he's talking about Zion Johnson as the guard. Yeah, well, Zion Johnson's the guard. I like Zion Johnson, but I can't. Dom, who is the center?
Do you know what? When you Google Boston College Center, it comes up with the center. What is the central building at Boston College? Bear with me. I now need to put in football team.
Right, we'll put in football team.
Don't bring up Chris Snead.
Yeah, there you go.
There was a beast. There was a beast. I got a question. What position do you think will either and it's kind of multi-layered. The question will be what do you think position will start changing the way the draft goes? Like all of a sudden wide receiver get picked and they start going off the board, or because wide receivers so deep, or edge rushers so deep. What position may just change the ebb and flow of the draft where you see them start falling off the board?
I think it's going to be defensive end. I think it's going to be the edge. I think we've learned anything in the NFL is if you can control the edge and generate a pass rush from the edge. And I've said this before, if you have a wonderful pass rush, you can have a terrible secondary because then you're allowing less time for the secondary to have to hold. And if you have a wonderful secondary, you can have a bad pass rush. But the problem is there is more of an opportunity if you are relying on your secondary to have things break down than there is if you're rushing the passer for the secondary. So I would think that I think it's going to be one of those drafts that you're all of a sudden going to see a run on defensive ends.
Yep.
It's going to be the go-to position this year where everyone's just going to go rushing. You're exactly right. There's 4 or 5 edge rushers, which I don't necessarily think are all in that same category, but that teams will be just right after to make sure they get one.
Dom, did you find out who the center is?
Well, I think it's Alex Lindstrom, but I'm just that he might be talking about.
Yeah, I can't think. I can think of who. Like I said, I can't think of who the center is.
That would be the center, not the guard from Boston College.
Well, Zion Johnson, I assume, would be the guard.
Yeah, I think Zion Johnson's the guard. I can check the guard, but Alex Lindstrom is the center. Well, that's the one that's coming up anyway.
Mr. Esquire says
Zion Johnson is the guard.
Trades Saquon or Bradbury to the Ravens for Tyler Huntley and a 3rd round pick. I don't think the Ravens would do that.
Mm-hmm.
Dom?
No, I agree. I agree, and I think Huntley did well last year, but
he agreed, so he gets banned for being a suck up.
I think first of all, I'm not trading Saquon. I'm sorry, not trading Saquon.
No, I can't trade Saquon. That's what I'm done when you're suck up by agreeing.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a show of disagreeing. No, I can't trade Saquon.
Well, I was going to ask you about Huntley. For me, unless we are getting a 1-year bridge, at which point I don't really want to trade for one. I want someone that we think can be a franchise quarterback, and I don't think Huntley is that. I don't know what you guys think on him.
I have to acknowledge Tuto in the chat. I don't think so. I don't think Huntley's a franchise quarterback. I think he's a good backup quarterback. I think he's a good emergency guy. I think he's a guy if the S hits the fan, that you will be able to. You won't miss it. Especially he doesn't mirror Lamar Jackson completely, but you don't change your offensive philosophy when he comes into the game. And I think that is the most important thing for a backup quarterback. Like I said,
that helps him succeed as well, right?
And I never understood the Mike Glennon thing, because Mike Glennon does not mirror Daniel Jones. So you have to change your offense because you have Mike Glennon in the game.
I don't think anyone understands Mike Glennon.
Yeah, I don't think anyone did either.
Just real quick, can I'll just re-ask my question from earlier to T-Brad. Now there's no mac and cheese.
All right.
But do you think Mitch Trubisky comes to the Giants, or do you think he's using the Giants to increase his value elsewhere, get a better contract elsewhere?
I don't know the guy personally, but I'd say this. I think he wants to prove that he can be a starter NFL quarterback. Him going as early as he did in the draft wasn't a fluke. That you got two mindsets. He can be like that and say, I can come to the Giants and I can compete and I can beat Daniel Jones, and now it's my team. Or I want to get money. He's definitely using us for leverage. But I don't think it's a complete fleece. You know what I mean? If we get $7 million, if we give him, first we got to find money. But
that's the important. First, you got to find some cash.
Yeah, look, if we can find $16 million underneath the seats for maybe 1 year with another option, 2-year deal, $16 million, maybe.
It's a maybe.
It's a maybe. I agree.
For me.
Yeah, I think our biggest selling point here is, hey, look, come here. I'm going to run a similar system to Buffalo, which you've got to assume, but we don't know. You know the system. You're going to be my starter. Come here. You might get less money than you get elsewhere, but hey, after 1 year, because we've got Malik, say, who's going to come in and replace you, you're in a good position where you've taken this forward, you've improved this team, and you've shown you can be a starting quarterback again. Now go and get your money. And that will be the sales pitch I would be saying to him.
Right.
Absolutely.
And whether that's here or elsewhere, that's the sales pitch.
He's going to look best somewhere he's played in an offense that
he wants playing a similar
rather than go somewhere and learn. Yeah, rather than go learn and start from scratch.
Mike Glenn wants to know: have you talked about the new all lineman picked up by the Giants after the cut from Atlanta? Don't know much about him. He played like Plymouth. He was injured all of last year. The Falcons put a second round tender on him the year before, so they must have had some idea that he might be somewhat in their plans. But of course, I think we put a second round tender on people as well that we didn't need to. I mean, he's a depth. We only have 5 active linemen on the line right now. I mean, so he's now number 6. So I mean, I think at that point in time, I think you need to find someone to at least come in here and start playing something. So I mean, I haven't checked the Twitter sphere yet because I assume it was the greatest signing that we've ever had in the last century, bringing a guy out from Plymouth. So I don't know, Mike. We have to wait and see. Any guys you have any insight on the kid from Atlanta?
Absolutely none.
Dom?
Absolutely not.
OGR in the house. I'm late. I'm here now. How about Real Madrid game? Absolutely banger.
Real meaning royal in Spanish, I believe.
You know what it also is? Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese.
Royale with cheese. You know why they call it that way, Dom?
No, go
it's the metric system.
The metric system.
It's the metric system.
Smart money.
Look at the big brain on Brad.
Oh man,
at least has one of us on the show with a big brain.
We're doing quotes from Pulp Fiction.
Oh damn it! Anyway, very quickly, because OGR has done a super chat, which means that's money going to the kids. OGR, I think that's the end of Poch at PSG now. That's it. That's curtains for him.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, but OGR does. So I think we should address the super chat, and that's the end for Poch. He's done. He's the
OGR. If you want to, OGR, I put the thing in the chat. If you want to jump in and say hi for a moment, I'll put the link in the chat again. I just do because I am so efficient. I'm so professional now.
Dom, what football teams are you following over there? Who are your teams?
I follow a London team called Arsenal, who finally
You both bored me. You both got Wonka because you both bored me. We don't talk about soccer. You run around in shorts kicking a little ball. This isn't the man show. This is football. We got a sponsorship from a strip club. Talking about soccer.
A fictional strip club, but
it's not fictional. It's real in my brain. It's real. Dom, can you be recast in another remake of Arthur?
Well, I think I could probably fill in for Dudley Moore.
You do look like Dudley Moore. I was going to say you do look like Dudley Moore.
I think I'll be fine.
Now that's an interesting movie reference. So Arthur.
Yeah, I didn't like Liza Minnelli in that movie.
I mean, when you get caught between the moon and New York City.
Moon in New York City.
Kind of tough.
That was a great song, though. I mean, like I said,
yes, it was. Yes, it was.
That film must be older than me as well, I reckon.
That is old.
Very much older than you.
I'm older than you think, actually, but
I just love to see in the restaurant.
How do you know what I think?
Yeah, how do you know what he thinks?
Well, because I reckon that film must be 82, and I was born in 84, so I don't know quite when Arthur was, but it was maybe 2 before I was born. I'd have thought.
I was born in 73. I'm pretty sure Arthur came out like 81. 82.
It's like 80. I believe it was 81. But the best scene in the restaurant is when he's with the restaurant with the hooker, and he looks at her and goes, "What? You're a hooker?" And she's like, "Well, what did you think I was?" He goes, "I just thought I was doing really well."
Yeah, I need to watch that.
See, the reason I couldn't be that because I would have known if I was doing that well with a woman, it was definitely a hooker.
All we're gonna say is, guys, I'm dropping someone in. OGR Sports is in the house.
What's going on, guys?
Is it snowing?
What's up, brother?
Let me see. Yep, still snowing.
Still snowing. We got the weather report from OGR. Still snowing. Mr.
Not sticking really, except for plants.
Well, luckily we don't drive on plants. We got everything going on, OGR. You got the T-Brad in the house. You got the big Dahmer here rolling along. What are your thoughts about these trades of these quarterbacks flying in and out? These quarterbacks rolling different places. All the assets that are just seem to be discarded willy-nilly.
I mean, can you really blame the Broncos?
Sure.
No,
I mean,
I'm with OGR.
you can if you want to, and it might be foolish, but at the end of the day, they have a loaded roster with no quarterback. And if you don't got a quarterback, you're not going to win in this league. So, I mean, John Elway is trying to save his job.
True.
Look, he's absolutely right. I agree. And do you know what? You can't fault the Broncos.
I'll be
they
right
were
back,
big.
though, guys.
They were big. They were brave.
Oh, go ahead.
They were big. They were brave. And do you know what? You can't kill them for giving it a go and rolling the dice.
They were bold.
They did the same thing with Peyton Manning. I don't think they gave up. I forget if they got him in free agency or
they signed him as a free agent. Peyton Manning.
But they went, if you feel as though you're a quarterback away and you go all in, that is really putting your career on the line, saying, hey, this guy is going to get us to the Super Bowl.
I think it's a win for Russell Wilson. I think it's a potential win for the Broncos. And look, if they failed, at least they failed giving it a go as opposed to fail with a whimper.
That's true.
And how about the irony of this? You actually get the guy that beat you in a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that. That didn't even cross my mind. You're right. OGR
he should have 2. Russell Wilson should have 2.
Yeah, instead of throwing that pass, just run Marshawn Lynch. I mean, what could possibly go wrong by running a guy called beast mode?
Actually,
I know who would have called the audible. Willie Beeman would have.
You're right, Tim. You're right when you say that. But going back to that season, believe it or not, Marshawn Lynch only had 1 touchdown from 1 yard in that whole year.
Yes, but the Patriots knew that play that they ran. That's why Butler was able to jump the route, because they knew when that play came out, when they were in that formation and that happened, he knew immediately what the play was going to be. So to me, shifting, even with Marshawn Lynch, I still got to give you the guy's got you there all season. You got to give him to the guy that's bringing you the money. He's carrying the mail. He's got to bring.
He was running hard at that time. He was running really and you know how Marshawn Lynch is. Once he starts going, you got to feed him. He starts getting like Bo Jackson, Tecmo Bowl.
So I remember rightly, they were struggling to stop him in that game. If I remember back correctly. We'll never know now. We'll never know.
I know. We'll never know. But OGR, all these quarterbacks are worth all this. Everything. You see all the money. I mean, see all this picks being thrown around. I did a video and I said if Russell Wilson was worth all this, Daniel Jones is worth $1.98. What do you think you could get for Daniel Jones if you traded him right now? And would you even want to trade him?
If we're getting Mitch, yeah, I'd trade him. Because either way, no matter what scenario you look at, I believe we're drafting a quarterback. Everything signals to me we're drafting a quarterback. It really does. I mean, and you know what? It's kind of funny. Some of the content creators on other places we shall not name are starting to hint toward that. And we've been saying it for what, months? You've been saying it for well over a year.
August last year.
And I really should have touted my love long before you had, because I actually liked Malik Willis in the beginning of his junior season. I should have touted my love then. Yeah. I feel bad.
I love
because I saw my channel.
Malik Willis.
Malik Willis.
All aboard.
OGR is on the Express. He has a first class ticket on the Express. He's sitting in the front of the train with his little bit of tequila, sitting there, waiting for him to come to the station.
And the funny thing is, if I'm taking shots at a bar, tequila is my choice. So good job.
I could tell.
There you go.
I'm all about the blue agave. Let's go.
T-Brad's not in the first class section. T-Brad's in the bar cart. Like,
I was like, T-Brad's pulling up the bar car because he's got all the liquor. So we've already seen the T-Brad bar, but I didn't know people were starting to come around to the Malik. I didn't know other content creators were coming around.
No, not even to the Malik Willis. To the fact that Daniel Jones is destined to stay here, and that a lot of what our GMs and our GM and our coach are saying is basically coach and GM speak for, yeah, we're going to draft a quarterback, but we'll give confidence to the fan base that we're going to rally around this guy.
Well, I don't know if you caught it earlier. I was saying before, you have Davis Webb, who's basically a coach. They don't rave about his ability. They rave about him in the weight room and in the film room. You bring in Trubisky, who could be your starter, and you have Webb mentor in the Dable system, whoever your rookie quarterback is. It's all, and we've said, the three of us have been saying it. It's almost a perfect storm if you're a Giant fan that they're going that direction because they are building a foundation to then be able to bring along a rookie quarterback and have him sit for a year
and develop. Yep.
And the other thing is we still don't know about the neck. We still don't know about the neck. And to answer Logic's Finest real quick, Marshawn Lynch was the best running back. I'm not gonna disagree with you there. And Pete Carroll absolutely should have done that. But I was just pointing out the stats saying he only had one rushing touchdown that whole year from the 1 yard in. That's all that was pointing out. You're absolutely right. He should have been running that Super Bowl.
Why does everyone want Derek Metcalf? What about trading the 5th overall pick this year, Kenny G, plus a 4th rounder for Seattle, the 9th overall pick? Derek, we're going to bring in Metcalf and a first next year.
I don't think Seattle would do that.
Hell no, Seattle wouldn't do that.
I think that's a bad move for Seattle, but that would be their problem. I wouldn't mind it myself.
Well, I mean, we still, if I'm not mistaken, our cap money is not going to go away because we got rid of Kenny G this year. I mean, believe he's one of the few on the Dom. I don't know if you're Googling it. He's one of the very few, I think, on the trade regards that we're not going to save much money if we trade him. So you're really not helping us this year. And like I said, I don't think Seattle.
Pre-trade, we'd save 7.5. Pre-June, sorry.
Okay, so we'd still be on the book for how much though? It's his dead number.
Oh God, a lot. 13.6.
So Michael, his number is oh God a lot. So we wouldn't be able to move forward.
13.6 we'd still be on, but we'd save 7.5.
Yeah, we're not. And I have a question.
Sorry, real quick. I can see why Seattle would want to now move on from Metcalf, right? Because they just want to go into full rebuild mode. But they're not taking.
Nice, Mike.
They're not taking Kenny Golladay off us. Like, no way.
Mike Glenn says a GM should always be given the opportunity to pick their coach and draft a franchise quarterback. I'm going to go around the room. I'm going to start with T-Brad, go to OGR and Dom. And I know kind of what everyone's thought process is right now, but what do you think in reference to if you are the Giant general manager, you have your Malik Willis there, You know what the fan base some of the fan base might do to you if you go and take what some people call the quarterback from Liberty. I mean, do you take the chance on Malik, or do you look elsewhere like a Kenny Pickett, or do you go, you go to Ritter, or do you go somewhere along those lines? T-Brad?
Well, there's no way I take any other quarterback because I wouldn't want Tim to be mad at me. As the GM of the Giants, I would be watching this show and making sure Tim doesn't get mad at me. But to me, you when you're grabbing a quarterback at 5, you're grabbing a guy you think is the guy. And to me, Malik Willis looks like he has the most upside and the most talent, physical talent. I take Malik. Even though I know no matter what quarterback you take, you're living and dying with that quarterback as a GM. So you take the one you think's going to work. Just like the other guy did with D. Jones.
That's true. We'll not talk about it. OGR?
So for me, quick announcement: I am off the Kenny Pickett bandwagon.
Oh, really?
Not
the question.
No,
not because of the hands.
Not because of the 8.5-inch hands. It's because putting him up against his peers, even in his underwear, it doesn't really matter. It's not showing up. I thought it was there on film. Hey, I'm wrong. It's okay. But for me, right now, Malik is 1, Desmond Ritter's 2. There's a world where I see the Giants drafting the best of the best defensively, whatever. If they want to take one of the tackles, that's fine. And taking Desmond Ritter in round 2. There is a world where I live, because both are project quarterbacks, but both have a high enough upside that you can justify being an organization and letting these guys develop behind a Mitch Trubisky, behind a Daniel Jones for a year, and then starting in the following.
That's why I was actually asking the question, because I was kind of curious what you were going to say about Kenny after the pro day. Because I didn't think he had any zip on his deep pass. He throws a nice spiral. I think he has
some of the best touch.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna suffer from Chad Pennington syndrome, you're not gonna win in this league, because Chad Pennington had the touch.
Yeah.
I love Chad Pennington, but maybe I just like soft arm quarterbacks. I don't know.
Dom, what are you doing?
I mean, I was never taking Pickett, not in a million years. I don't trust his arm, and I think with New York being what it is weather-wise in November, December, I don't trust him, and I think that showed up. In everything we've seen post-college season, and I didn't want a stand in the pocket passer, to be honest with you, and I think that's what I know he likes his rollout, his roll action plays, but I wasn't taking Pickett anyway. For me, I've said consistently I'm not against us not drafting a quarterback this year and taking chances next year. But I think if you've got a guy you're taking this year, and there is only one quarterback I take from this class this year, and that's Malik Willis. But you're certainly not taking anyone else in the first round for me.
No, I don't think you can. And Kareem even says if he's your guy, you just basically go out and get him. And then we also have it's picking up Malik is better than staying with the liability Daniel Jones as quarterback. I'm going to start with OGR on this question. If you're going to compare in modern day, if you're going to compare Malik Willis, because some people don't, people only know what they see in the paper or reading the paper or saw what they saw at the combine. Who would you give your comparison? It doesn't have to be someone playing now. Who would you be your comparison if someone said to you, if you had to compare Malik Willis to a modern day quarterback, who would you say his abilities best mirrored?
Okay, so right now, what he best mirrors, because I'm going to give you a boomer bust scenario here, because that's what we all think.
Right.
So my comparison is, if he doesn't pan out, glorified PJ Walker. If he does pan out, then I want to say Kyler, but I think more accuracy coming out. I could be wrong on that one, though.
Okay. Those are two good comparisons. T-Brad, who would you say, if someone asked you, who would be the comparison to Malik Willis?
Again, I'm going with Michael Vick again. The poor man's Michael Vick. It's just how strong that arm is, how effortlessly he throws it on a run far. That's what I say. Now, again, if I've said this before, if he comes in and it doesn't work out, He's the next RG3.
And RG3 did have that good season, the good rookie season. So, I mean, I would take that. Dom, who would be your comparison to Malik?
I think on the downside, I think you see the Cam Newton that we saw at the end for Carolina last season. I think it's that sort of. But yeah, I was in the Lamar Kyler space really for the sort of upside. But I do think he will be more accurate once he's had a bit of time to adjust than either of those two on the phone.
Giants Clown says Kyler Murray is Webster. I hope Malik has a higher ceiling. I take offense to that because I think Kyler Murray is taller than Webster. No, I think Webster was like 3'8". I think Kyler Murray's like 4'1". So,
but I'll tell you what. I'll mention this quickly. It's more just broad NFL related. The AFC West, man. I mean, as far as a loaded division with quarterbacks, it's ridiculous.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy right now. And we also have Tuto dropping the Tuto super chat. Tim Salute drop by your office to pay the proper respects for all the Giant fans around the world. Slapping all them stinky boys losers out the door. Tuto, always appreciated, my friend. Getting some gas for the kids. It's Philadelphia chili sauce because gas is too expensive.
Tell me about it. Back to Kyler. Does anyone not think that he's not getting paid by Arizona?
That's a good question. T-Brad.
Anyone think he's out there?
T-Brad, any Kyler Murray, does he get paid or is he going to come over to the Giants?
It depends on if he's going to be realistic at how much money he wants, but they put too much into him not to pay him now. You traded out another quarterback. You took him first overall. They're going to pay him. It's about finding a number, but they're going to pay him. He's not going anywhere. Maybe in a better quarterback draft, they can make a good trade and move up. But the way they think about quarterbacks this year, they're not going to trade them. They're going to pay him.
OGR?
Franchise and then pay him.
What do you think, OGR?
What do I think? I think they're going to pay him. I really don't think they have a choice. They can't sell that fan base on another rebuild. That fan base is looking to win. And, ever since they got Kurt Warner, I mean, the Cardinals – and then Carson Palmer, they've been a relevant team. That fan base and Premier, going to the Super Bowl, albeit losing to the Steelers, as a fan base, you almost expect to win the or at least be in contention to win the AFC West and go to the playoffs. The Cardinals have not been that big of a slouch. They're not the doormat we thought they were, in the 80s and then the 70s. So, especially in the 90s with the NFC East. Everybody forgets they used to be in the NFC East.
Yeah, everyone forgets St. Louis Cardinals. Everyone forgets the St. and Neil Lomax and Jim Hart. I actually remember those guys playing.
And Otis Anderson, don't forget.
Otis Anderson. Yep, out of Miami. What's that, Dom?
I was going to say, here's the other reason why I don't think they can afford to not pay him now. You've got Seattle have a gap at quarterback, right, in the division. You've got the 49ers, still don't know what they got in Trey Lance. So you're only really right now up against the Rams in terms of quarterbacks in that division. And Kyler can be as good as Stafford, no question.
That is a great question, though, Dom. And I'm going to start with T-Brad. That is a great question. You got rid of Russell Wilson. You got an issue with Kyler Murray. Does the 49ers look at this now and say, we got the Rams, but we might have a window in the division, and we keep Jimmy G.
Yeah. If you don't know what you have with Lance, even though you drafted him high, if Jimmy G's doing it, and they played good last year, the 49ers played good last year, I think you just keep Jimmy G. And unless you get one of these crazy trade talks, somebody jumping through hoops to get him. Like if the Colts get on the phone and say, "Hey, what about that Jimmy G guy?" Maybe it works out. But I think they'll keep Jimmy G.
Too bad they don't have any high draft picks. OGR, the same question. Do you think they take a look at what's going on in the division and say, we might have a window?
I believe their window is now.
Right.
Everybody, forgets that the Rams are loaded, but they can't keep all those players, and they're going to start hemorrhaging very soon here. And obviously Seattle says we're going through a rebuild, and Kyler has shown you that right now he can't perform in the big game without his best weapon. So, and it's all about
Hopkins. It all went downhill.
So right now, I go with Trey Lance. You drafted him for a reason. You sat him for a year for a reason. You go with Trey Lance, and I'm not telling you hope he's the next Patrick Mahomes, but he's not going to make the same rookie mistakes. Put it that way. Or at least you shouldn't be sitting behind for a year and learning. So I'd say their thing now, and they're a building franchise. It's not like they have all this money, allocated in free agency, and they've traded away all their draft picks. They can still build and get this and have a good window of being in contention. Right now, if you're the San Francisco 49ers, you're smiling ear to ear. So
the other guys on the chat didn't get my Webster reference. I hate young people. I got Alex Karros. I think it was his penance from getting suspended for gambling from the Detroit Lions that he had to do the Webster show. I think that's probably what happened to his. I think that's what happened to his cash. The big question I have for OGR is: do you have a mac and cheese recipe?
Do I have a mac and cheese recipe? Yes and no. Because anytime I do a mac and cheese, I kind of want to turn it to a tuna casserole. So
that's a good thing, though. we were already talking. We're gonna have a mac and cheese cook-off. T-Brad, you know what's funny? I loved it because T-Brad was looking at something. He was over here, and I go, mac and cheese.
I knew that was my cue. I was talking.
I was like, wait a minute here. There's the thing. We're coming up on our 2 hours end of the show. Appreciate everyone coming in. I'm going to give everyone a chance for a final thought. We're going to start with the T-Brad because he was gracious enough to join us now for over an hour. So T-Brad, we're going to give your final thought. Then we're going to go to OGR, then the Dahmer.
All I can say is I'm hoping I'm writing Malik Willis a love story. It all comes together for us.
What was the other book, though, if he doesn't come here? I forgot.
Jilted at the Altar.
Jilted at the Altar, Malik Willis.
Yeah.
But
hanging out with you guys.
You got it. I appreciate you coming in. Like I said, I gotta email me because I want to know this mac and cheese recipe, and I'm not joking. I'm saying cook off. You, me, James Williams, mac and cheese, steaks on the grill. Right? We gotta hook that up.
Let me know. I'm in.
So just give me
around. I'm a rep. I'm a union rep, so it pushes me around a lot. But I'll check my schedule and I'll be in.
We'll figure it out. OGR, you came in late. Appreciate you stopping by as always. What is the OGR final thought?
My OGR final thought is I was watching the combine a little bit, and the DT out of UConn. Dude can play. Dude, I think as far as mobility on the field and the drills, obviously besides the one trip over the bag, and that happens, to me was one of the fluid, and nobody highlighted him. Like nobody else wanted to talk. Everybody wants to talk about a 4.78. That doesn't friggin' matter when you play in a 2-yard box. So I'm telling you right now,
we ranted.
UConn, I'm all over it. So
we ranted about that, OGR. I ranted about that.
No, I brought it up also because I rant. Because even though I don't comment much on the videos, I watch. I've always watched. Even when I didn't, when me and you weren't getting along, I still watched. You gave me content to talk about. So thank you, Tim. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. My mom always said being an asshole would pay off. And it gave OGR.
And it has. You got the radio chops and you piss people off. It's the greatest. It's got the best of both worlds. Let's go.
Didn't the kid from UConn play well in the? Did he play in the Senior Bowl? I thought he did.
I don't remember. I don't recall because I was like all about the quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl. I was staring at Ritter, and I was like, "Come on, Malik, let's go."
For some reason, I think he did play in the. I do think he played in the Senior Bowl because I do remember I remember someone from UConn in the defensive line in the Senior Bowl. Watching the game, and I'm trying to think about that. Well, I appreciate that. I gave you content. I did something right. And what do you mean never got along? We always got along.
Oh yeah, you know what? You're right.
I don't remember past yesterday, and you're talking about something that happened 2 days ago. Dom, what is the Dom final thought?
Oh, I mean, I'm just annoyed that OGR can suck up to you, and he doesn't get one good, and I get one.
Okay,
there it is. He asked for it. I knew it was coming.
There's no crying in baseball, and there's no sucking up here on the Online Big Blue Show.
Knew that was coming. Knew it was coming. Oh, dear me. Oh.
You literally walked into it.
Oh, I know. It's like I set it up. What was I going to say? Actually, I was going to ask you guys for one one name, quick, and OGR, you've just given yours, but the one player for you that stood out for you at the combine that you weren't necessarily expecting, that you're now looking more closely at than you might otherwise have done.
Ooh, I can't think of anybody off the top. Probably that running back from like South Dakota or whatever. He's somebody I wasn't watching. Like Christian Watson, I started watching before the combine, but it was some running back, I think from a smaller school that kind of caught my eye with his combine.
Tim?
If he says the socks, I'll laugh.
I gotta think about this for a second. I mean, if I had to pick something that I was shocked about in the combine, I had to think about this. I have to go with Jordan Davis. I mean, he can run a 4.2, and he can jump a country mile, and that's what you need to do when you're staying in a 2-yard box. You don't want to know what his wingspan is when he puts his arms up. No, because that's not how you block passes. That's not how you block a pass. You jump up while you're engaged with the center.
And we all know that you just draft the fastest wide receiver at the combine because he's a surefire winner, Jonathan Ross. I'm looking at you.
I think T. Brad summed it up best earlier when he said, if our defensive tackle is running full speed at someone, we have a problem. Because
unless he gets a full rush to the quarterback and it's like a 7-step drop, then that's okay.
No, we were exactly. We were talking. If he's running this fast around the field, sideline to sideline, we have some serious issues.
The play's not going our way.
We're not holding the edge. We're not holding the edge.
Hey! Let's look at it more positively. He's recovering. We've gone in. We've got the sack. We've recovered the ball, and he's bombing it down the field for the touchdown return.
Maybe we'll use him like a refrigerator
parry. On Jordan Davis, I mean, why don't we just play him at tight end? Let's go.
Andrew Thomas at one tight end, Jordan Davis at the other tight end position.
I can deal with it.
This is a good. Before we sign off, this is something I do want to talk about, and LJ brings this up. What is going on with the Linderbaum? And I'm going to start with T. Brad. He does seem to be serendipitously falling in this draft. I mean, he was the poster child for centers. He was going to be Dwight Stevenson, and all of a sudden, now he seems to be dropping on everyone's boards.
What I've heard from my online experts is that Linderbaum is athletic as all the world, but is a scheme-specific type center.
Okay.
He plays a specific scheme, and if you don't run that scheme, all the talent in the world won't matter. So I think that's been the drop. That's what I've heard. I can't confirm or deny why he's dropping.
OGR?
To my knowledge, did he work out at the combine? I mean, obviously he probably interviewed, but
I don't believe he worked out. I don't believe he
ran. So to me, it could be that he's scared, like similar to what T. Brad said, that maybe he, they realized at the combine that he is scheme specific. That could be, or maybe he just didn't interview well, or maybe the Wonderlic was off. Who knows?
Yeah, well, you know what? Malik Willis had a 32.
I know. I saw that.
That is Wonderlic. I mean, OGR, do you think him being 290 pounds is shine any away from any teams?
Possibly, especially if it's
he may not have the frame
because you are undersized.
Yeah,
and it is teams. You have to run a certain system, and I'm assuming it's more of a zone blocking system, which, I can't imagine that in a zone blocking system that so many teams would be scared, because a lot of teams are going to that as far as their thing. So I really wonder what it is, what scheme, because you're either a zone blocking scheme or you're not. Like, there's no, to my knowledge. I mean, Tim, you have more football knowledge than I do, and it seems like T-Brad does too, as far as inner workings. But I mean, to my knowledge, it's only two schemes on the offensive line, zone or not. So
right. Well, there's really not. I mean, there's variations.
He's a zone guy. He is a
zone guy. And to your point, I think a lot of offensive philosophies are going more to a zone because of the fact that you can mask more deficiencies when you're playing a straight up man-to-man, man-to-man assignment. And LJ says short arms, questionable power, only a zone run. And I do, Don, before I get to you, I got to say one thing. We're only at 51 likes. For all the people that don't like, you're dead to me. Okay. So like the damn video. Jesus.
Thank you.
Thank you. I can't believe I have to ask people to like the video. You should just know you like the video. Dom, what do you think of the Linderbaum?
I think the reason he's dropping is nothing to do with his size. We knew that. It has nothing to do with scheme. We knew that. It has everything to do with the positional value of the pick. And I think that's why he's dropping. I don't think teams ever had him at 5 on their boards. I really don't. I think they were always looking at him later on than that because they think they can get similar value later on. I think it's just that, and I think analysts are catching on to it.
Oh, Logic's fine says, OGR, fair enough earlier. I wasn't trying to be difficult at all.
I get it. And Logic, I'm pretty, actually, the one thing I am is a pretty fair individual. I'm an asshole, but I'm fair. I'm a fair asshole. So, yeah.
Don't steal my line.
I've never heard you say fair asshole.
You said I was an asshole.
Yeah, but you didn't say you were a fair asshole.
I'm in a ship full of assholes. T-Brad. He's an asshole.
I am.
He's my that's movie quote. He's an asshole, sir. He's my cousin.
Ooh.
And he goes, anyone else here an asshole?
Wait a minute. Oh man, he's an asshole. He's my cousin. That is the guy on Casino. No, Casino.
No.
He was no. You stumped me here.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, you stumped me there. I haven't watched
I'm
that
surrounded by assholes.
Yeah, the Schwartz was not strong with me.
There you go. I'm gonna give you credit for that one.
I'm just nicking OGR's line. I'm an asshole, but I'm a fair asshole. I love that.
I don't know what happened with Logic's Finest. I must have missed it.
No, I didn't spot it earlier either.
What happened with Logic's Finest? OGR?
Oh no, I was just telling him I was a fair asshole. Like it was.
I know, but what he said, he wasn't trying to be an asshole. He wasn't trying to be difficult at all.
No. I was just telling him I understand. I get.
Oh no, but what was the question?
What
caused it?
What spawned off that comment?
Thank you, T-Brad, for being eloquent about that. What spawned?
I don't know. I guess I went on a little bit of a rant there.
Oh, all right. Because I was like, I don't know what you did.
Oh no, we were talking about how we were talking about Marshawn Lynch, the Super Bowl, and I pointed out.
Oh, okay. Now I remember. I think about that. I was like, what did he do? It's like, did I miss something? Did I black out? Did I have an old man blackout? I just forgot what I did.
It's fine. It happened over half hour ago. We're good.
We're all good. All right, guys. You know what? It is past my bedtime because I go to bed early because I'm old. I want to appreciate everyone stopping by. T-Brad always for joining in. The Dahmer for being here every week for the OGR. You know what, guys? We appreciate it. We got a lot of fun stuff that's going to be coming up because you know what? Legal tampering's on the 14th. The season starts at 4 p.m. on the 16th. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. Hope everyone let's all have a pint together. Next time we'll have a drinking show. We're all going to T-Brad's house because we now know where he lives.
I'm in.
We're going live from T-Brad's.
Yeah,
LJ is there as well.
It's not near the V section.
It's not near the V section. But all right, guys, I appreciate everyone stopping in and joining in and hanging out there for that long. Get those likes up for me, guys, and we'll have a video tomorrow, and then we'll have our regular Sunday stream. And again, this is Tim. You know what? And again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports and talk and entertainment for T-Brad, the Dahmer, and OGR. We want to thank everyone for stopping by.